Hello, everybody. This is Gerald Salente, and it's Thursday, September 28th. Here are some of today's trends in the news. And again, the trend is your friend. And we're the only ones in the world that give you trends in the news. Nobody else does it because they don't know how. So, what in the world is going on? What's next? What to do? Doing our best to help you do it. And again, you subscribe to the Trends Journal and you get that information. This week's magazine is another about 160 pages. No ads. Oh, and you can listen to it. And there it is. Dress like a slob, look like a slob. It's the American way. Slobola. Oh, they said now you got to dress up now. They changed that. I guess they saw the cover of the Trends Journal because it went all over the world. We got a lot of comments on it. It's a freak show. The freaks are in charge. Okay, on to the markets. Stocks rose Thursday as Wall Street tried to regain some of this month's steep losses. And traders kept an eye on Treasury yields. Again, as you all know, back in July, we said the markets would decline in September, and we believe they're going to keep going down and very big next month as well. So what happened? And the Dow Jones is up 116 points. The S&P added blah, 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 blah. Stocks are headed for the what's been a tough trading month. This is CNBC. Dow is going to end 3% lower in September. The S&P down 4.6%, and the NASDAQ down nearly 6% for the month. And again, it's the boost in Treasury yields. Why would you play the markets when you could put your money in money market funds and Treasuries and get near 5%? You even get your CDs, you're getting over 4%. So why gamble? So this thing's going to keep going down as long as interest rates stay high. And retail investor pessimism climbs to 4-month high as optimism drops to 4-month low. Individual investors bearish climb to 40.9, the highest since mid-May, from 34.6 last week. Bullish sentiment is below its historic average, however, for the 6th week in 7, and has dropped by 14.4 percentage points in just the past 3 weeks. Yeah, people are going to go shopping, but they're not going to buy as much as they were. It's as simple as that. And gold prices, we told you, again, we don't have no advertisements in the Trends Journal. Nobody tells us what to say. I mean, I love investing in gold. I mean, that's my favorite, that and real estate. But we call it like it is. And we said as long as these interest rates stay high, and the bet on the street is that they're going to keep staying high, gold prices are going to go down. And gold went down again today. Again, we believe that the bottom of gold is around $18.50 an ounce. It's not far from that. But you got to look at the bigger picture. And one of those is the headline. Costco is selling gold bars, and they are selling out within a few hours. That's right. This is brilliant what they're doing. It's brilliant because the average person doesn't know how to buy gold, but a lot of people want to buy it, and they're making it happen. This is really a smart move on their end. It's an on-trendpreneur move. Okay, Financial Times. U.S. small cap stocks hit hard by high interest rates. The Russell 2000 small cap index has fallen 11% since its peak in July, while the S&P 500 is down 7% over the same period. So the thing is, these small cap stocks, they got a lot of borrowing. And now your interest rates have gone up. And these are a lot of floating loans. So again, to us, the market's going up is a total joke. There's nothing there to push them up. Because of this floating rate, because of the floating debt rising rate, it'll pinch and defaults are likely to rise, said Dennis Malarkey, Managing Director of Investment of SLC Management. No shit. We've only been saying this for how long? Yep. So, going back to where we are, the average 30-year fixed rate, it's at 7.31. It was 7.19% last week. This is the highest since December 2000. Huh. What was going on in December 2000? You mean the dot-com bust? When everything was crashing like crazy? That one? Yeah. You see where this is going? Pending home sales for August, down 7.1% from the month before. This is according to the National Association of Realtors. On a yearly basis, they're down nearly 19%. Yep. Over in the West, with California, one of the most screwed up places, they're down 21.4%. The South, 17.6%. Northeast, 18.2%. Sales on newly built homes, down 8.7%, according to the Census Bureau. Mortgage demand, slumping because interest rates now are at a 23-year high. So what do we have here? Total mortgage applications fell 1.3% last week compared to the previous week, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. You ready? Seasonally adjusted index volume was 25.5% lower than the same week just a year ago. You see how bad this thing is? Put the facts together. Rather than the headline crap, oh, I'm so happy about Taylor Swift's new boyfriend. Applications for mortgage to purchase a home fell 2% for the week, down 27% lower than the same week a year ago.
Yo, Baron.
Again, it just keeps going on and on and on and on.
I hope you didn't try to buy one of those stolen iPhones, bro.
Surging insurance costs.
What is going on in Philly, my man? What the
We've
fuck,
been writing
bro?
about the
That was fucked
bullshit
up, dude.
that they're telling us that inflation's gone down.
You don't even know? Are you serious?
That's
Oh my
right.
god, we got a video.
So
We
now
got a fucking video to show. Oh
you
my god, are you serious,
these
dude? Dude.
insurance costs are skyrocketing.
Man, Philadelphia has been on the news. See, Philadelphia looting. This is the first one that comes up. Jesus. Bro, where's the iPhone store? Dude. Dude. Like, what is going on? Oh my god. So, yeah, I know a lot happened in that video. I was in Philly. No, I gotta read this. No, but dude, so iPhone or Apple, they bricked the phones remotely. That's why they were pouring fucking their stolen soda on it. Because apparently the phones are making sort of screeching noise or whatever. Because they bricked the phone. iPhone remotely disconnecting them, right?
Wow, this is crazy. Oh my God, this is crazy. Ain't nothing. Oh my God, all these iPhones.
It's too much, man. It's just too much, bro.
And breaking right now at 10 o'clock, looting at several popular stores in Center City and more looting here in Port Richmond. Skyfox over what looks like a discarded merchandise.
Of course you didn't hear about it. 500 Pokemon App Store would be the end of the world. Wow, no way. It's not on the news? Holy shit, dude. Evil person laughing, yeah.
I'm Sheba Russell. We want to get right out to one of the scenes tonight. Steve, what can you tell us?
Well, here is the usual scene in Center City. It's the shopping district. Broad Street all the way to Rittenhouse Square. Walnut Street is shut down by police, block by block. The side streets you can see have been reopened.
So yeah, dude, they remotely turned them off. It was just there. You were there? No fucking way.
I just learned this from two detectives who went in to say, what was your loss? You'll notice a bunch of iPads and phones on the table to the right where the bag is. You'll see a bunch piled up there, right? That's various Apple products. And then on this table to the left. And so people grabbed all these expensive Apple products, and then when you steal them out of an Apple store, they instantly go bad, meaning they don't work, and then a camera comes on and the thing tells you, put this back to the Apple store. So they realized it wasn't working, it was disabled, and they were just dropping them on the street. So they started recovering a lot of the products that were stolen. So that's why you see them piled up on two tables here. They've got to do an inventory.
Yeah, man, that's so fucked up, dude.
With the big case there in the cart, and he is getting ready to take them all in and see if they're still sellable or still even to be able to be put on it, obviously. But a whole lot of smash and grab just about a month ago. And so this is the second time Lululemon was hit. Now, obviously, a target of people when they go in and smash and grab, or in this case, start looting, according to police, after this protest. So that gives you a sense from one end to the other end of the shopping district, from 16th all the way to 18th, we saw. Then I was told Foot Lockers were hit. And then also
for Lululemon?
we were told the stores
for
up there
fucking
started
yoga
hitting
pants?
in North Philadelphia. So Skyfox may want to check that out because that was still ongoing when I got here.
These people be
Separate
risking
police. Detective
life in
sources tell
prison
me
for
they had
fucking
a
yoga
arrest
pants?
over at 15th and Chestnut, and a gun was recovered at 15th, right outside of City Hall.
They destroyed your
That trouble spot
dispensary?
all the
No,
time.
they did
A Philly
not.
police captain told me
It was
multiple
really
arrests
cool.
after massive thefts
Oh
here.
man,
So
that's
they
a
couldn't even
quote.
have the exact number
That's a
of
fucking
arrests.
quote.
I filmed one of the arrests with my phone as I arrived here shortly after 9 o'clock. So they were still arresting people a couple of hours after this all began here earlier tonight when it was still daylight out and these stores were still open. Now, police had, quote, tons of police on duty tonight.
Unbanned?
Just in case
Are you
this happened. So they
banned?
kind
You're
of
not banned.
There's not the damage that we saw here during the looting in 2020. So
Why does it say that?
damage, not a lot of stuff smashed like we saw, not a lot of glass broken.
169 epic
But
quote
maybe
number,
on
bro.
the
That's a
side
great
streets
quote.
where this liquor store
It was
hit,
really
which I
cool.
still haven't even found yet. Maybe that looks a lot worse
Sorry,
than, say,
man.
the Apple
I'm
store
sorry,
here.
that's not
But
cool and
police
all.
did
I
a
know
good
you were
job
responsible for your
stopping this
grandfather.
just as it started.
Like,
And
that's
you can
not
see
cool.
They still have the streets closed for some time. People are allowed to walk.
I understand though, dude. Like when I was in Miami,
for a while. And
they would
again, we've
people
seen
would
police
send me,
sent to help out
or
in other
there'd be like
spots in the city, including
a video
that
of some
spot in
crazy
Northville.
shit,
So
and I'd be like, I didn't see that. Or in South Beach or whatever. I don't know. It's pretty isolated incidents. There are a lot of crazy drivers though. Drivers are fucking. Looks like they just robbed a bank or something.
Targets here. You mentioned in 2020, it certainly was. Any indication that any of these businesses in anticipation
They're all
of
packing
any
in
unrest
Florida.
tonight, did they board up? Was
It's
there
nightmare,
any
man.
kind of sign that they were anticipating this?
Now, the problem here is that you had people not knowing that there was going to be a march tonight, right? So what happened was we had the decision for first protest. It was, flat-footed in a
52 arrested?
Authorities are
There's no way.
investigating major looting, they
There's
say,
no
that
way
was coordinated
there's no way they
as
found
criminals
that
hit
many
several
people.
stores, more than 50
There's no way.
arrests. A massive group of looters, they say, ransacking and stealing from multiple stores. It came on the same night of peaceful protests when charges against an officer were dropped. And authorities say these were not protesters. They say they're criminals who used the protests as cover. Stephanie Ramos in Philadelphia tonight.
Tonight, the Philadelphia Police Department is scouring social media videos like these, searching for suspects after a night of looting by criminals who police say took advantage of peaceful protests.
There was a burglar. They looted the store at Lululemon.
A coordinated caravan of vehicles going from store to store, looting businesses in multiple neighborhoods over an 8-hour period.
Up to 100 teens and adults ransacking stores like this Foot Locker. It is now closed and guarded by police.
We've made 52 arrests already and counting, and they're going to have to pay a price. This is not shoplifting. This is looting. This is riot.
Police say the crime spree was coordinated over social media.
Louis Kenny looks like a little bitch.
Peaceful protest seen here.
I don't know anything about him.
Demonstrators angry over a judge's dismissal earlier in the day.
You were just
of murder
there.
charges against a police officer. Police
Going to
saying
jail,
they
no.
used those peaceful protests as cover to commit
Oh,
crimes.
true.
This had nothing to
100%.
do with the protest. What we had tonight was a bunch of criminal opportunists take advantage of a situation and make an attempt to destroy our city.
This latest rash of looting coming on the same day. Target announced they're
Target in
closing
Miami
9
was
stores in
so
New York, California,
chill, dude.
Oregon, and Washington
Like,
State
it was amazing.
because of theft
Totally
and
different. I'm sorry, bro.
organized retail crime.
Doesn't seem like
David, the Apple
fucking.
Store behind me is
the rest
one
of Maryland
many
is like
stores
that. I mean,
was
other than, like,
looted last
Baltimore.
night. Tonight, you can see they've covered up their windows with black drapes. Police say among those they arrested, there were
All right, you're in
3
Pennsylvania.
teens, and they recovered at least 1 gun. This investigation is expected to take several days. David.
An unsettling night there in Philadelphia. Stephanie, thank you.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.
What was the headline I saw that was pretty crazy? It's pretty ridiculous. Oh yeah, dude. Chicago sues Kia for their cars being too easy to steal. The Chicago mayor, like, dude. Oh, they did not. Dude.
They are too easy to steal. That's the claim behind a new class action lawsuit in Illinois against Kia and Hyundai. We've been investigating the alarming jump in thefts of those cars, leaving the ignitions like this one just torn apart.
Oh, the concert,
CBS
nice.
Political investigator Dana Kozlov has learned now there's something you can do about it.
That's so fucked, dude. The concert's gonna ask about that, man.
For Yvette Davis
Fucking
last
wild, I
year
bet,
when,
man.
after years of financial struggles, she was finally able to buy this 2011 Hyundai.
Did they make music on the spot? Was it like a live set where they like made new music? Sometimes they fucking do that shit, and it's crazy.
Sonata.
That was something that I purchased all by myself.
That pride was crushed, though, August 28th,
No, you're so nice.
when Davis came outside
hell
to
yeah.
find her car gone, stolen from
Fuck
in
yeah.
front of her home.
When I got to the curb, that's when I saw the glass.
Davis filed a police report and then started digging. She found a slew of class action lawsuits have been filed against Hyundai and Kia, alleging a failure to install something called an immobilizer is the reason the cars are particularly easy to steal. Then we found one lawsuit had just been filed in Illinois, too, in federal court in Chicago.
But it affects, millions of people potentially.
Ken McLean is the lead attorney on Illinois' lawsuit and a
Oh, yeah,
dozen
man.
others. All allege Hyundai and
Fuck
Kia
yeah,
didn't
dude.
install the mobilizers in order to keep prices down.
Kia and Hyundai have known for a long time that their failure to include an immobilizer put their cars at a disadvantage.
Davis says it's inexcusable, so she says is stealing.
Stop taking people's stuff. Stop taking it.
She's lucky, though. In the last 24 hours, she got this letter stating her Sonata was in a city
Oh, that's not-
impound lot.
that's not funny.
Damaged,
That's not
but
funny.
drivable. But with only liability insurance, Davis doesn't have any money to fix it. I told her about the class action lawsuit here.
Thank you. Thank you.
We will have several categories of people with damages, including those that have had their cars stolen, and we will be seeking to have them compensated.
While McLean is the lead attorney on 13 lawsuits against Kia and Hyundai, there are at least 3 others. I reached out to both Hyundai and Kia asking for an interview or a statement. Both spokespeople said they don't comment on pending litigation. In the newsroom, Dana Kozlov, CBS 2 News.
Toad, we're gonna restart this video because we were playing this at the start for you, man. This is for you.
Hello, everybody. This is Gerald Salente, and it's Thursday, September 28th. Here are some of today's trends in the news. And again, the trend is your friend. And we're the only ones in the world that give you trends in
That's
the
awesome,
news.
Baron, about the show, bro.
Nobody else does it because
That's
we
been
don't know
amazing,
how.
man.
So, what in the world is
It's
going
cool.
on?
There's a stage and like that there were
What's next?
actual live vocalists
What to
and
do? We'll do our best
DJs
to
and
help you do it. And again, you subscribe to
who
the
knows what
Trends
else.
Journal, and you get that information. This week's magazine is another about 160 pages. Now, where it's own, you can listen to it. And there it is. Dress like a slob, look like a slob. It's the American way. Slobola. Oh, they said now you got to dress up now. They changed that in the Senate. I guess they saw the cover of the Trends Journal because it went all over the world. We got a lot of comments on this. It's a freak show. The freaks are in charge. Okay, on to the markets. Stocks rose Thursday as Wall Street tried to regain some of this month's steep losses. And traders kept an eye on Treasury yields. Again, as you all know, back in July, we said the markets would decline in September, and we believe they're going to keep going down and very big next month as well. So what happened? The Dow Jones is up 116 points.
What a big cloud. How are you, broski? How are you, my man?
Stocks are headed for the what's been a tough trading month. This is CNBC. Dow is going to end 3% lower in September. The
What's up, Cloud? How you doing, man? Nice
down
meeting you, bro.
4.6%, and the Nasdaq down nearly 6% for the month. And again, it's the boost in Treasury yields. Why would you play the markets?
Thank you for streaming earlier, man.
Put your money in money market funds and treasuries and getting you 5%. You even get your CDs, you're getting over 4%. So why gamble? So this thing's going to keep going down as long as interest rates stay high. And retail investor pessimism climbs to 4-month high as optimism drops to 4-month low. Individual investors bearish climb to 40.9, the highest since mid-May, from 34.6 last week. Bullish sentiment is below its historic average, however, for the 6th week in 7, and has dropped by 14.4 percentage points in just the past 3 weeks. Yeah, people are going to go
Toad,
shopping, but they're going
let
to
me show Cloud.
It's as simple as that.
The epic friggin' David Kloss shoot the guard in the foot, Ryan Gibbs. Dude. Mystic Cheese. Did you see it, man? Did you see it? Did you miss it? It all happened so fast. Check it out. Isn't that incredible? It's just so amazing. You want to see something even crazier? Someone did it on 00. And that man, his name is Ryan Isran. Check out this run. This run is insane. I guess Gibbs also did it on 00. Ryan Gibbs did it on 00 too. It's just so insane, man. So he has half of our health. That was perfect. And the forward boost with half a bar. That was also perfect. It's just so insane. Like, they're just so good, man. Alright, and we got one more run to show after. We got one more run to show after. So this is 00, right? World records. Untied sleigh. Perfect ace. Alright. Now, check out this run. By none other than past GoldenEye champion, Mr. Irie Butler. Also weightlifter. Getting huge. But look at this run. So this is Secret Agent. Wait, let's read the comments first of my chat. Yo, what's up, Christian? How you doing, man? Yo, what up, Russ? Yo, everyone's here. What? Better be looking good. Help me give me the fear. Silver cause people go insane. Outer man, yeah. But dude, okay, so 133 is 00 world record, right? I think SA is 125 or something. What does that say? Look at all that health. He's got a lot of health. And it's really fast. But he did the 00 strat opening, right? Now watch this. go. Oh, that's scary, man. The guy's there already. Holy shit. Oh, fuck, man, he almost got sniped there. AR guard. Like the laser guard was, yeah, like.
I'm not playing Aztec Essay anymore.
Alright, now look at the time.
1:30.
Like, it's just so
29.
insane.
Oh my god.
So.
It took an hour coming back to Goldeneye after a month.
The Exorcist, yeah. So, in theory, he basically did 00 strats, right? Running through the drones, though, that's pretty risky. But in theory, on 00, even if you get body armor, like, who knows how low this can go, man. It can go really fucking low. And Irie's, like, right there. I'm pretty excited about it. Thanks for watching my fucking...
And gold prices, we told you.
Thank you for watching.
Again, we don't have no advertisements in the
Let's read the
Trends
chat.
Journal. Nobody tells us what to say. I mean, I love investing in gold.
Thanks,
I mean,
dudes.
that's my favorite. That
On
is
tier 2.
real estate.
Cool emotes.
But
you said
we
one
call it
bond.
like it is.
Nice.
And we said as long as these interest rates stay
yours.
high,
Nice.
and the bet on the street is that they're going to keep staying high, gold
So yeah,
prices
man.
are going to go down. Gold
Aztec
went down again
00.
Again,
129
we believe
is
that the bottom
definitely
of
on the
gold
table
is around
for
1850 an
someone.
ounce. It's not far from that. But you got to look at the bigger picture, and one of those is the headline.
Could go lower. It's just
Costco
too
is
insane.
selling gold bars, and they are selling out within a few hours. That's right. This is brilliant.
15 minutes.
Lydia.
Oh, that's all good,
it's
man.
Brilliant, because the
hard
average
ass level.
person doesn't know how to buy gold.
You could totally smash
but
that
a
now,
lot of people
100%,
want to
man.
buy it.
Oh, yeah.
And they're making it happen. This is really a smart move on their end. It's an on-trendpreneur.
That's what I was saying earlier about agent. It's harder
Okay.
just because the guard passes
Financial
away
Times.
a lot.
U.S.
If you do the
small
Jaws
cap
skip,
stocks hit hard by
it's
high
probably easiest on
interest
00
rates.
because
The
the
Russell
guard doesn't pass
2000
away.
Small cap index
Okay, not
has
easiest,
fallen
but
11%.
because that ending
since
is always
its peak
ass.
in July. While the S&P 500 is down 7% over the same period. So the thing is, these small cap stocks, they got a lot of borrowing. And now your interest rates have gone up. And these are a lot of floating loans.
Yeah, buddy.
So again, to us, the market's going up is a total joke. There's nothing there to push.
So it's
them.
exciting. New stuff with
Because of the
Facility 2.
floating rate-
Facility 00.
Because of
I
the
might try
floating
that.
debt rising rate, it'll pinch.
I might try the new Facility 00
and defaults are likely
sub-minute
to rise,
for the meme.
said Dennis Malarkey,
My goal will be like 58 or whatever,
managing
but
director of
it'll be from the meme
investment
mainly.
management. No shit. We've only been saying this for how long? Yep. So, going back to where we are,
Yeah, for sure, man.
the average 30-year fixed
Oh, for sure.
rate,
It like made me a man.
it's at 7.31. It was 7.19% last week. This is the highest since December 2000. Huh. What was going on in December 2000? You mean the dot-com bust? When everything was crashing like crazy? That one? Yeah. You see where this is going? Pending home sales for August, down 7.1% from the month before. This is according to the National Association.
Thanks for being here, everyone. I really appreciate it.
On a yearly basis, they're down nearly 19%.
Send me lots of love. Thanks, man.
Yep.
You too, dude. In a platonic, no homo, nothing
Over
wrong
in
with
the
being
West,
sexual way.
with California,
Nothing wrong with being homosexual, but
one of the most
I'm
screwed up
straight, man.
places, they're down 21.4%.
I remember somehow unlocking Egyptian. Figure it out.
The South,
You did not.
17.6%.
That's insane, dude.
Northeast, 18.2%.
I think it was. I think I
Sales
think I
on
googled
newly
it
built
online.
homes down
Or
8.7%, according to the Census Bureau.
it fucking sucks.
Mortgage
Something
demand.
2 came out. Your boy might be moving to Canada next year. Wow!
Slumping
Congratulations,
because,
bro. Yo,
interest rates
congratulations,
now
Christian.
are at a 23-year high.
You're always welcome here,
So
my
what do we
dude. You're
have
gonna become a Canadian. You're always welcome in
Total
Canada,
mortgage
my friend.
applications fell 1.3%.
Congratulations, that's
last
exciting.
week compared to the previous week, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association.
Counter-Strike 2
Seasonally adjusted
came
index
out.
volume was
I did not.
25.5%
It
lower.
sucks. How
than
can
the
it?
same
How could
week
it? What is
just
it?
a year
Is it
ago.
like Half-Life 2
You
compared
see
to
how
Half-Life
bad
1?
this thing is? Put the
Half-Life
facts
2 was
together.
not very good compared to Half-Life 1.
Rather than
Half-Life
the
2 was
headline
cool,
crap.
cool game.
Oh,
But
I'm so happy about Taylor Swift's
you'll be
boyfriend.
moving to Ottawa. Wow, that's wild, man. Congratulations, man.
Applications for mortgage to purchase a home
That's incredible.
fell
What?
2%
That's amazing.
down
Yeah, man. You're always welcome here
27% lower
in the city.
than the same week a year ago.
What's
Again, it just keeps going on and on and on and
That's
on.
amazing, man. Yo, what's up,
This is
NYDUS?
important.
How are you? This is
Surging
a lot
insurance
worse.
costs
Want
squeeze
to go to the
lane
lake?
office
Wow,
landlords.
man.
We've been writing about the
Yeah, dude, you totally
bullshit
should,
that
man.
They're telling us that inflation's gone down. That's right. So now
Can't wait to see Christian
you
Gyges.
have
Yeah,
these
maybe it'll finally get
insurance
Toad
courses
and I to
skyrocket,
finally.
not only for landlords,
We can make
but
a
for people.
3-person
Commercial real
meeting.
estate insurance has risen 7.6% annually on average since 2017.
So excited.
according
Aw,
to Moody's
that's cool,
Analytics.
man.
So then we look at this and you keep going on. You again, we're calling the office building bust. Nobody else is. No one. But you got to put the facts together. You're paying a lot more
Cool,
now
man.
on insurance.
That's good
you
too.
got a lot
That's
less
good.
tenants.
That's cool. NYDUS.
And you got a heavier debt load because you got
The
floating
biggest thing.
loans.
Yeah, for sure. But dude, like,
Insurance
you're
contracts
moving here?
typically renew every year. That means virtually
Like,
every
that's
property
where
owner
you- what's
has been
how-
forced to either sign a new policy at a higher cost or skip insurance
I mean,
altogether.
Watch Party
The
Central.
number of
Yes, I
property
know,
sales,
dude. I
you ready
tried,
for
man.
this?
I try. You know,
For
I changed my name
$25 million
just to
or
make it like a
more
channel.
is
Didn't
down
work. Didn't work at all.
nearly
I worked at Cloud9.
80%
Cloud9 Fall. He's the
from
man.
2021, according to
I have to
CoStar.
embrace all the
All right?
culture.
How fucking stupid could you be to
Like
buy
Italian
fucking
culture?
commercial property and office buildings in 2021 when everything's fucking locked up and people are working from home? You know why? Because you don't subscribe to the Trends Journal. And I know why. Because you swallow the fucking bullshit coming out of the mainstream media. Yep. Brainwashed by
It's
crap.
going wild.
How fucking
No, it's not.
stupid can you be?
Like maybe like one. It'd be a cool stream. I was thinking of that, like a stream from here. Like, but would be like one.
One thing after another. They got this thing. This is from Wall Street Journal. This guy from Moody's. He estimates again. Remember we're
Cool,
talking
man.
about
But yeah,
insurance,
dude.
now we're talking about higher
It's exciting,
interest
man.
rates.
All the Timmy's, hockey,
He
watching,
estimates that the
suits, and
typical
bilingual
American
sign.
household would need to use 42 weeks of income to buy a new car. 42 weeks to buy a fucking shitty, stupidly electronically over fucking geek piece of fucking shit. Can't open. Oh, and I love it. All the fucking, every time they close the door, beep, 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 it goes off. And if something happens, beep, 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 beep. Oh yeah, like the fucking police are gonna come. Oh,
What
the
is this,
car's
Toad?
beeping.
Oh,
the
no.
fucking geeks have destroyed this fucking world. AI, we own you. They fucked up the music, synthesized fucking crap. So going back to the stupid fucking cars.
Dude, Mooney's Bay is actually an amazing beach, dude.
Before.
It's not amazing, but it's like it's pretty good for Ottawa. It's
As
like one of
of
Ottawa's
August,
best
It's
beaches.
42 weeks now to buy a new car.
That's actually a baller spot,
33
dude.
weeks.
Holy shit, man.
3 years ago.
It's somewhere around here. Is that it there? Oh, yeah.
And typical credit card payments are 20.7%. They're higher than that. They
This is
were 14.6%
Carleton University's right. Where's
last
Carleton?
February.
Right here.
Hey, the mafia, they're charging 10%. Oh, but the bank's the fucking bandits.
So this is Ottawa.
They can fucking steal all your fucking money.
The river where I go is all the way over here, man. Like it's fucking 100 kilometers away, man.
Scumbag bitches and bastards called politicians. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? And you get your t-shirt at trendsjournal.com and you go to sales and we tell them in front and
85,
back
how many miles? Put this in miles.
about them. They're the, I guess they're all cocksuckers
53 miles.
these days.
That's like an hour away. It's doable.
These are
It'd
the
be fun,
guys
man.
that allowed
In
the
the summer.
banksters to take over the world.
Definitely in the summer.
Yep. Too big to fail.
It's doable.
I wish I covered this
But
too
like
much.
fucking.
Fine, here it is. Yeah. All right? Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Calm down, Salenti. Let the fucking bandits steal your fucking money. Again, one article after another. Soaring
Yo, thanks for
borrowing
the
costs
tip toad.
hit riskier
The tip
companies.
toad.
Yeah, no
Thanks for the tip toad
Global
of the
trade
calisthenics park. That's
falls
dope.
at fastest level
I'll,
since
I'll definitely
pandemic.
use it.
That's the headline in the Financial
Yo,
Times.
Carlton's a Carlton. What, cousin? That's amazing,
Oh yeah,
man.
global trade's falling.
It's a
no
cool campus.
fucking
Cool. It's
shit.
good university.
How long
Very
have we
good
been writing
university.
this? And it wasn't a fucking pandemic, you little shithead prostitutes. Again, the World Whore Organization called it a pandemic when 4,219 people were dead in March.
What are they studying, do you know?
2020, out of 114 countries. That's like 7 billion people. 4,000 people dead in over 2 months. They fucking died. 4,000 people a day probably die in car accidents around the world. More young adults are living at home across the U.S. This is according to Money Watch. According to a Harris poll for Bloomberg, 45% of people 18 to 29 are living with their families, the highest figure since 1940s. Oh, that was during World War II.
Oh man, I guess
You know
I
why?
started on this
Because of the
weightlifting,
fucking
How long has it been? It's been like
scumbag
45 minutes.
Politicians
Oh.
who did away with the antitrust acts that allowed the bigs to take over, and people can't get a good job anywhere. You got it? No more mom
I
and
broke
pop
my first guitar
stores
string
or
the other
his
day
and hers stores
after
or her and her stores
10 years of
or him and
ownership.
him stores.
I bought
Only the
super
change.
thin strings
Look what's going
for
on
it.
in front of everybody's eyes. Oh, the markets are going to be fine. Hey,
Third cousins,
Splint,
I
what's
think.
wrong
Like
with you?
great aunt
Almost
immigrated.
50% of people can't afford to leave their house at 29 years old.
Oh wow, insane.
What are you kidding me?
That's cool.
Yep.
That's really cool.
74% of those surveyed agree that younger Americans face, quote, a broken economic situation that prevents them from being financially successful, the survey found. Not a broken financial situation, a economic situation that has been stolen from us. Stolen from us. From these scumbag politicians. Pieces of fucking shit that get paid off by lobbyists to change the fucking laws. Hey, Menendez over there in Jersey. Where'd you get all that fucking money? One scumbag after another.
Diana Cambote. I forgot
was a young
about her,
guy,
man. What's her name?
All the polls used to show that the future will be better than the past.
Diana
Now it's
Cambote?
the exact
Daniela
opposite.
Camboni.
And fuck off, all you little scumbags that right up there. Oh, if Salenti would only, with more people. Fuck you. You are the little fucking cowards that are doing dick shit.
Gerald, we love you, but I can't. I just can't. I can't do any. I can't do more of you right now. Man.
Yeah.
You're too real. Where'd she go? Where is she? Is this her channel? 59 minutes ago? I think Toad will really appreciate this conversation. I'm not a big gold investor supporter, but I just think it's too destructive. Too unfair to the distribution of wealth, especially amongst South American and African countries.
Stock after more than doubling this year alone. But if you're holding NVIDIA or thinking of buying it to get a stake in the 7 trillion AI market, you're going to want to see Mark Chaikin's new AI prediction first. Mark is a regular on many major news outlets from Fox Business to CNBC, and built the stock indicator Wall Street uses to find winning stocks. His award-winning system flashed buy on Tesla before it climbed 335%, Moderna before it climbed 300%, and Riot Blockchain before it climbed 10,090%. It also found NVIDIA at the start of 2023 before its massive bull run. But right now, Mark is stepping forward to warn people to stay away from NVIDIA. My system has indicated that NVIDIA is no longer the best stock to buy to profit from AI, Mark says. In fact, it just flashed buy on a totally different AI stock. And today, he'd like to hand you the name and ticker symbol of his #1 AI stock to buy right now. For a limited time, you can get this information for free at AIFrenzy2023.com. Again, that's AIFrenzy2023.com for a free copy of his new report.
Hi, this is Daniela, and welcome back to the Daniela Camboni Show. As we continue our coverage, I'm still calling it Denver Gold, John.
Well,
John Duty, but it's not
the Denver Gold
Forum of the Americas, whatever they're calling. But please welcome back to the show, John Duty, editor of Gold Stock Analyst. I always say it's the best gold newsletter out there.
Well, thank you very much for that. I think so too.
I'm not just saying it because you're my friend. All right. How's the show been for you? What's the sentiment like?
Well, everybody's optimistic that it goes. And it's no different. Although, it's hard to tell because you're only talking basically to insiders. You're talking to big institutions that already have gold, and you're talking to companies that are producing gold. So not too much in the exploration side of the business at this conference. So it's mostly optimistic, and people looking at the big macro picture, U.S. debt. And the Fed's going to do something later on today.
I want to talk.
And we don't know what. But I focus on the companies. This is our 30th year of Gold Stock Analyst newsletter, and we've stayed true to our focus of looking at the data and let the gold price do what it wants to do. Which, by the way, for this, gold has been the best performing liquid asset I know of since 1971, when the price was set free. $35 an ounce to $1,935 now is an 8% per year compounded growth rate. I don't know of any liquid asset that's been that good. Maybe you could find a stock that's been that good, but who knew what stock to buy? The gold as an asset class has outperformed everything.
I'm happy, so happy you brought that up. Actually, there's 2 points I want to circle back on. So one, you're basically bringing it back to what I brought up in the panel with Robert Friedland, Frank Giustra, Pierre Lassonde, 3 titans of the industry. I said, look, mainstream media, at least in North America, has been painting gold as being extremely boring, having done nothing this year, paling in comparison vis-a-vis the NASDAQ, vis-a-vis the S&P. We're not seeing that in Asia, right? And my question to the panel was, well, is gold just getting a bad rap? Because to your point, gold has been doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. No? Correct?
You're exactly right. And gold doesn't have the big commission, big money managers that make money managing money behind it. It doesn't have that interest level because it doesn't have the profit level for the people in the business of managing money.
Yeah.
And so that it, but as a form of protection of savings, it's outperformed everything.
When you're, putting the metrics in to forecast the price of gold and whatnot, let's get your thoughts on what the Fed's doing. I know in the past you've said they're backed into a corner. You didn't see inflation slowing down anytime soon.
Well, I think we're going to move to a new normal. The accepted rate of inflation for the last decade has been 2%. I remember when it was 0%. So I think we're going to get to a point where 3% is a target, or maybe even 4%. And we'll just learn to live with that. And if you have, if you're invested in a way that you participate or profit from the higher rate of inflation, you won't be bothered by it. And that's just the way it's going to be. And there's no way that you can't have Powell can't do a Volcker and jack up rates to 20% to try to stop the inflation. The politicians won't take it anymore. The Democrats certainly won't, nor will the Republicans. They all want to stay elected and stay in business, in the business of Washington D.C. And there's a tremendous pressure to continue to mush along as we've been doing.
When we started the year, John, there was so much talk about the U.S. is headed into a recession. Since then, those talks have calmed down. I mean, what's your take on the state of the U.S. economy? Because the data is showing it's strong, but when you speak to people, real people, they're not feeling that.
Well, Biden economics is working, I guess, and people like to complain, and doesn't even if your portfolio is doing okay and you've got a job and your income is okay, you still got something to complain about. And I think that's just a natural state of affairs. And you have one whole party that can only do complaints. They can't do anything. The Republicans can't get anything accomplished because they're spending all their time complaining. Do something, please.
Please. You said, well, obviously your newsletter is centered around picking winners in this market. Is it becoming harder and harder to find the winners in gold and silver?
Yeah. I don't know. There's some good companies out there. We added one recently that we added a major miner that, based upon it's so undervalued that based upon our metrics, and the main one we use is operating cash flow multiple. This is a major miner that sells for around 3.5, 4 times its operating cash flow. And the typical stock in our coverage list, in our 50 stock coverage list, the average is 6 times operating cash flow. So this stock that we've made a top 10 in a couple of issues ago has got a potential to double, and it's a multi-million ounce a year producer that pays a dividend. It's a widows and orphans.
Well, I think I know the one you're talking about.
And it has an appeal.
Can you say?
Yeah, it's Kinross. Everybody, the gold investors never forget, and it takes a long time to change people's opinion. And Kinross was saddled with, I don't want to say, saddle's really the wrong word, but it had some mines in East Russia, which were very profitable. But you don't really want to be in East Russia. And then they bought a second mine. The prior management way overpaid for this mine in Mauritania, which was nothing but problems. But Kinross has solved both problems. The Russians took away the mine in Russia, and the Mauritania mine is straightened out now and running profitably and smoothly. So but the investors still remember Russia and Mauritania and problems.
I would love to shadow you one day, John, to see all the homework and research you go through because of all the miners, of how you filter it down.
Well, we follow 50 stocks roughly, and they're all basically North and South American producers. We don't follow West Africans, for example. It's too hard to get information. You don't really know what's going on in the local local communities. And the same thing's true in Australia. They only report twice a year. So you're always behind the 8 ball, and of course they're on the other side of the world. So, but we find plenty of companies to follow here in the States, and you know, our audited track record is on the website.
It's going so
audited,
bad,
independently audited,
that I
every
quit
trade,
it.
Every buy, every sell.
It wasn't sustainable amount of money for me.
But on the silver front, finding a
It
true
pays.
silver
They were gonna give me a contract.
It's tough. There's
Well, they gave me a
even
contract for me to
even the
sign.
silver companies want to go to gold.
Let me turn this guy down.
They're all buying gold medals. So the silver is
Sorry,
a really
one sec.
difficult metal. You know, for years it was thought of as a byproduct, and maybe that's the right way. There are a couple of good silver.
They were gonna pay me $19.67 an hour, and minimum wage here is $15.50 an hour. So it was about $4 away from minimum wage, but they wanted me to sign it till 2025, and I can see minimum wage going up to like $17.50, $18 by 2025. I can see that 100%. So it was like, and the working conditions were shit, man. I had to commute downtown, which sucks and is expensive. Yeah, man, 2025, bro. Yeah, man. It was just a shit deal, man. And dude, and they wanted me to get a group life insurance, which was fucking at least gonna be like at least $40 a month, maybe more, maybe less, who knows. And union fees, and like I don't know what fucking union is fighting for $19 fucking an hour, like when minimum wage is $15.50. It's just, and they won't let you use your phone. So 2 15-minute breaks, strict, and 1 30-minute lunch, everything unpaid, that hour break, whatever's unpaid during the day. More than it's worth, yeah. Dude, and dude, I left after, like, I requested to leave before lunch. I'm like, I don't think it's gonna work out. It's not worth it. It's like cause it's like, every minute you're there, you're behind. You know what I mean? If it's below the actual amount, yeah, it's a good amount of money. Like, okay, it's not a good amount of money, but like they wanted you to, they couldn't use the internet, you couldn't use the phone. You had to sit there for 4 hours, and then you could work until 9 p.m. sometimes. They wanted me to go there at 7 a.m. downtown for the next 2 weeks, 7 to 3. I'm not doing that. On the Tuesday, I remember, I think I woke up. I don't know if I just woke up to understand the feeling. I woke up at like 6:55 in bed, and I looked at my phone again. I just like smiled and like closed my eyes and fell asleep. It was like such. It was one of the best feelings. I mean, other than.
Well, actually, I have 2 questions.
It was a nice feeling.
Is it tougher sell?
I don't see any advantage. You have to work out 6 hours to break even per day. Yeah.
To make the case for gold than when they were 0%.
Well, I think
it's just, and they were. So they were a recruiter, right? So the government pays a recruiting company to hire people, and that's why, like, the recruiting company takes their share, usually about 33% of the salary. That's what I mean. It was a really highly technical, I'm bilingual, English, French. I'm trilingual English, but English, French, and Portuguese. Technical for the government, tech support for the government.
Have we seen the top and
Done remotely. 100%. My girlfriend did that job. She did it remote for a year and a half. I saw it during COVID. I saw she would answer calls and do the stuff. And he lied. The HR person lied. They said, "Oh yeah, during the COVID, we worked abroad. We worked remote for a month and a half." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't say anything," but I'm like, "Dude, you fucking liar. I was with my girlfriend. She was doing that until like 2021, 2022.
Except the uranium guys. They're like, have you seen the price?
And you said you'd have to work a third of your salary. No, but that's they already take a third. So at like $19 an hour or whatever, that's about like $42,000 per year. But at that salary from the government, someone could be making $50 to $55 to $60,000 a year. So I mean, it might not be 33%, but there have been companies like Randstad where I hired. No, Manpower. Manpower took 33% because at StairCycle they did the same thing, and they hired a temporary employee that was under me. So I got to see everything. They took 33%. It's crazy, man. And it just sucks, dude. Downtown, man. Downtown's getting like fucking dangerous, man. Downtown is shit. To work at that salary under those conditions. It's okay though. Dangerous now too. Well, there's a lot of. Oh, dude, the druggies, because all the shelters are downtown. And all the druggies are now just spilling out into the streets at red lights. So Ottawa's Byward Market is not very. Maybe Google Maps. I can show you on Google Maps. The Google truck. What's it called? Where is it? Anyways, it's just not. It's just everything for near minimum wage. Like that job would be good for someone maybe just graduating university or something. It was all Africans. I mean, I love Africans. I have nothing against Africa. My girlfriend's African Canadian, but it was all Africans. I have nothing against that, but they're smart people, nice people. Yeah, man. And like the natives, random natives. How old is this photo? So this is a mission right here. Oh wow, insane. There's only a few people on the street. Not too bad. Oh. Like what day is this? They'll have the day. It's like fucking like middle of the afternoon. Anyways. Where's the other one? Like, you can go to every mission. Oh wow, insane. They don't have it here. Anyways, I think I put it the wrong spot. Whatever. Oh, it's up here. Whatever. Oh my gosh, looks like Toronto is spreading. Yeah, really. Cookies and leather? How does that even... That doesn't even make any sense. It happens. It works 100% of the time, 50% of the time. That doesn't make any sense. Has real panther bits in it. Sorry guys. Oh my gosh, let me add the YouTube. Russell's a man of great taste. Links.
C'est un honneur d'accueillir Monsieur Dr. Peter McCullough du Texas, États-Unis. Merci.
He better speak English, I swear to God.
Cardiologue épidémiologique qui vient de l'Université du Texas, École de médecine du Michigan, où il enseigne aussi. Il est spécialiste dans le domaine des maladies infectieuses, également spécialiste en matière de cardiologie, et il suit l'évolution des répercussions cardiologiques des maladies infectieuses et également les répercussions en la matière des vaccinations du Covid. Il a été cité à au moins 500 reprises dans les articles scientifiques qui sont disponibles dans la librairie américaine. Il a travaillé pendant des années pour la lutte contre le virus type SARS-CoV-2 avec différentes contributions au congrès scientifique et différentes citations dans les articles en matière de lutte contre le Covid-19. Merci Madame Anderson, merci chers membres du Parlement, Mesdames et Messieurs, je m'appelle Peter McCullough, je suis épidémiologue, praticien, cardiologue et j'ai essayé de faire tout mon possible pour aider les patients dans le cadre de cette pandémie du Covid-19. Il y a eu deux grandes vagues qui ont touché le monde. Il y a eu tout d'abord cette vague de Covid qui a fauché les plus faibles et les plus âgés. Et maintenant, il y a cette seconde vague de calamité sanitaire. Ça a été ce vaccin du Covid-19 et il semble que l'OMS ait été à la source de tous ces deux maux. L'OMS qui semble être à la
Do not wait 48 hours. I would say apply daily. That's my recommendation.
Before you guys watch this failure of a video, let me explain. I tried this trick for almost an hour. I'm only going to show you guys the last 15 minutes of clips because the first 45 minutes was the same fail over and over again. The closest I got was the final attempt where I slammed my butt. It doesn't look that bad, but it sent a shock up my spine, and after that, I was done. As for next week, I want to go back and try this trick again, but I want to first land an easy trick, so at least I have something, you know, some clip of a trick that got landed. Also, if I can start this board slide where I left off, hopefully it won't take too long, because when I finally got enough confidence to go through the kink, I only got like one attempt. So this video is gonna suck. Enjoy, I guess. I suck at skating. That's it.
Hubba, man. That's a big hubba, man. I don't care what anyone says. Oh my god. Did you guys see that? Right here, right here. Oh my god. If his leg missed that thing, dude, or if it was waxed. Oh, he wipes out so hard. Oh my god. Oh my god, Steve, man. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god, I hope he's okay, man. What the fuck? That's scary, man. That's a big hubba, too. Oh my god, I don't know what I want to watch, my friends. What am I gonna watch?
Talk about it right now because it's a little bit of a sore point in Canada right now that we are officially we've unveiled a new Canadian flag. Here it is. Let me take a look over here and see if I can pull that up right here. The new Canadian flag. Now, viewer discretion is advised. Here it is.
Oh, look at that. It's the Canadian maple leaf with the SS symbol there. How nice.
It's a modern Canada for a modern world. That's right, a modern Canada. It used to be Bananada. You remember that? Bananada is like a banana republic.
Yes, I do. But now, you know, it's this. It's Waffen now.
It's this. I just want to remind everybody out there that Canada is actually an official country. That's right.
Okay, so there you go. And
thank you, Anthony Rota.
Yeah, man, he got thrown under the bus so quick. You're telling me. Okay, so I just want to say one thing here on it. I don't want to really go on and on about it. I think everybody kind of knows. But Krista Freeland is a history major. She has a degree in Slavonic studies from Harvard. Okay, that is a fact. You're telling me that she didn't know what was going on there, right? You're telling me that she didn't know what was going on there. Is that what you're really telling me? You're telling me that there was no way whatsoever. And people are they're digging. Okay, I'm going to show you a little bit of news over here. This is some real digging. Look at this work over here. Okay, so I guess I am doing this. I didn't want to do this, but I guess I am doing this, right? You know.
We are.
Yeah. Okay, so this is an image over here from this fellow over here. This is a League of Ukrainian Canadians, Ukrainian Youth Association of Canada. Right there. Okay, so this is April 24th, 2021. We know she's a Ukrainian. 100% a Ukrainian nationalist. She sent her kids to Ukrainian school. I don't send my kids to Ukrainian school or to Indian school or anything like that. Okay, they're Canadian, but no, you're so friggin' Ukrainian that this is what it is. This is actually the same. You know, we'll talk about it today. It's the same thing with BLM. We're seeing that rise in Philadelphia city center, huge rioting and arrest, and BLM making a resurgence, coming back. It is this identity politics that won't quit. Doesn't matter what side. Doesn't matter if you're just. Are you part of the country, this country that you live in? Okay, when we've got a glorious flag, why don't you salute the flag? Salute the flag of your country. No, instead you're part of another country. And you're going to fixate 100% on a past, on a glorious past in quotation marks. Professor Emeritus of Slavic Studies at the University. So that's the guy who was on the speech over there talking. And, this is her uncle, Miroslav Shikranjevich. Lecture Canadian Banderites. Banderites, again, is that Stefan Banderas thing, which is the red and black emblem that they wear, which is, let's just say, extremely contentious. The myth, the legend, the reality of the Galicia division, all right, which is father enlisted. Going back down to what else she's saying over here, she's surprised. Andy Lee doing great reporting on Twitter. She says, if you'd be so kind, Pan.
Okay, she says, here is the obituary confirming the familial connection to Krista Freeland. So yes, it appears her uncle gave a whitewashing lecture on the Galicia division, honored in the HOC. It was known in the House of Commons, also known as the 14th Waffen Grenadier Division out of SS of the Nazi Party.
Okay, so that's interesting right there. Here's the obituary. All right, so this is the obituary confirming that connection, and you can just go here to Edmonton Journal. I mean, this is what's cool about the internet, and she thanks a lot of people in that research that she did there on Twitter, X-Twitter, I should say. Chomiak, of course, this was some kind of a link that was denied. All right, this Chomiak. I'll show it to you if you want to see. Who is Chomiak? You literally just type in Freeland, Chomiak. You're going to get into it. This was denied for years. I'm going to try to see if I can get a mainstream newspaper here. Okay, here it is. So this is a mainstream newspaper, so really you can see that this is an accepted fact. If you'd be so kind, Pan.
From the Ottawa Citizen, it says, Krista Freeland's granddad was indeed a Nazi collaborator. So much for Russian disinformation.
All right, there you go. It's from David Pugliese, Ottawa Citizen, 2017. And it tells you about who this was, specifically Chomiak, grandfather Michael Chomiak, who was specifically in the media. That's who he was. And he was collaborating. He was giving out information, specifically. They call us, right, this information. It's exactly what Trudeau just came out just saying. Right? He's using this whole thing. I'll just play this. It's only short. It's 20 seconds. I know everyone pukes in their mouth when they see this. But I'm going to kind of skip through it. Just this one part over here.
I also want to reiterate how deeply sorry Canada is for the situation this put President Zelensky.
So just to reiterate, all those limos came in, right, 2 nights ago at the Parliament. They all arrived. If you do a quick search, you can see that. All the limos arriving at Parliament, limo arriving, Parliament, okay? And, you know, they came in massively. Why specifically? Late night meeting, because everything was a mess. Here it is, right? Brian Lilly in the Toronto Sun. Okay, late night meeting on fighting back. They know they screwed up. You know, here it is. Here's all these pictures of all the limos coming out there. They know they're screwed. Everybody's showing up. This looks like one of those Politburo meetings you'd see in Russia. You know, it's all the limos lined up all there, and you know they're just coming out, and the fat cats discussing about how we're going to get ourselves out of this one. Somebody's got to talk to Trudeau. Somebody's got to make him see sense. All right, so all that goes down. And you got this guy coming out, and listen to his words. He doesn't apologize for himself, or the Liberal Party apologizes on behalf of all Canadians.
I also want to reiterate how deeply sorry Canada is for the situation this put President Zelensky and the Ukrainian delegation.
So he's apologizing to Zelensky and the Ukrainian delegation.
What a wuss.
Wait a second. They didn't Canada didn't make Ukraine join the Nazis in 1940.
No, I don't think they did. Let's keep
No.
going. Yeah,
he's so far up Zelensky's back hole, you know, that he's got to apologize directly to him for this. I mean, what a pussy.
Mr. Peach saying he can't concentrate as he's so high on blow. And those allegations are coming out heavy duty, right, from the Indians. So they're hitting back saying that this guy is indeed a cokehead. All right, really.
Oh.
Yeah, and I can actually translate some of that, okay? I can show you that. That's a great point. I really appreciate that. Hold on a second. Here's the video of those Indians saying
I wonder if Trudeau knows Hunter Biden.
I wonder. Here's the video. There we go. Just load it. Oh, sorry, wrong video. Wrong,
Wait a
sorry,
minute,
that was wrong video.
I'm scared.
I'm sorry, but that's the wrong video. That's in my bookmarks too for some reason. Somebody.
Is that Lorena Bobbitt? What was she doing with those knives?
Somebody bookmarked my computer phone, without me knowing about it. Please excuse me. So, yeah. Indian media is claiming that this guy is high as a kite. All right. Let's just do a quick search here, just for the India.
No, Trudeau, you're right.
right. Let me see over here at the guy. Let's take a look at the news. Let's see what our censored news is showing us. Interesting. Okay, so the Independent 5 hours ago. So he's denying it 5 hours ago. If you'd be so kind, brother.
From the Independent, it says, absolutely false. Justin Trudeau denies flying to G20 in plane full of cocaine.
Imagine having to do
it.
that, right? He denies it. Yeah. Imagine doing that. You have to literally a plane full of cocaine. A plane full of cocaine. I categorically deny. I did not have relations with that cocaine. Okay. I have not.
Just kind of an aside. If you haven't seen the movie Cocaine Bear, it is pretty funny. I liked it.
Yeah. There we go. Oh yeah, you see? Okay, Cocaine Bear, the movie.
Yeah, it's not bad.
The new one.
I mean, it's
really?
Yeah? It's kind of funny, you know. Trudeau should be in part 2, maybe.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not a big movie guy these days. What movie do I got? I got there's one called The Trial at Nuremberg, 1961, that I've been recommended. Judgment.
Classic.
That's a beautiful cemetery.
1961. I want to sit down and watch this film.
Russ, that's a beautiful, huge
Judgment in Nuremberg. Okay.
Cemetery.
It's supposed to be an amazing film. I've never seen it. Epic American courtroom film.
That your great aunt is buried in.
Check that one out. That's what I'm going to be watching soon. And I got another one. What's the other one I got?
It's beautiful, man.
The one that I found on the internet. I can't remember what it's called now. Hold on a second. Let me just see. If you want to see,
man.
You want to see my style in movies, I'm going to show you. I haven't got this
That's
taste.
Cool, man. I will send my.
Nicholas Cage.
Every time I go back,
The Dirty Dozen, 1967. That's the next one. I love Charles Bronson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a Charles Bronson guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Bronson. It was cool.
So I'm going to sit down, watch those films, and just just for
Yo,
Judgment
Russ.
Nuremberg, I'm just going to be like,
Still here,
can
thanks,
we
man.
bring all of our people?
It is. I've seen a photo of her head. So
Can we do that,
wow.
please. So can we
Physically visit
do
I
that?
say,
But I
wow,
don't know if
cool,
that's going to
man.
happen. But it would
Well,
be
dude, you are welcome
no,
here
no amnesty
to visit.
whatsoever, man. I got no amnesty. I got
Again, to
nothing
visit.
inside of me.
No one is
whatsoever,
allowed
brother.
to live
None. No
in my
amnesty.
house,
I want
in my parents'
to
house,
take a minute
just
here,
me.
okay, to show this
Just
fella
make it
here
clear.
before we go back to.
Not with,
well, should
not
we
with
watch
you,
the true
Russ.
Here you go.
It is
You know,
extremely
well,
troubling.
you guys
to
know
think
what I
that
mean.
This egregious
He lived
error
on Crestview
is
Road.
being
Wow, insane.
politicized by Russia and its supporters to provide false
Supporters.
propaganda about what Ukraine
Supporters.
is fighting for.
Supporters. What Ukraine is fighting for.
Right. Okay. So anyway, what's the point even? You know what I
Nice
mean? What's the
road,
point
man.
even listening to this guy? What's the point? What is the point of listening to this dude?
Oh, that's a nice
What
spot,
is the
man.
point? There is no point. Okay. Anyway, so you
beauty
can go
spot.
through this if you want to see more. You want to get rid of the
Crestview Road.
details of Christopher Freeland's family. Then I suggest you check this one out over
Oh,
here.
it's
Check out
long.
Andy Lee and go through that thread. And it is deep. It just continues, right? She's kind of linked in the entire family. She's done the research. You can check that one out and see who is actually related and
Beautiful,
what they've done.
man.
She just goes on. And she thanks a lot of people here, right, from the internet. This is what's cool about the internet. People helping each other, people helping people to unearth this
A
information.
lot of modernization.
And you know
There's a lot
that
of
back
new
in the
houses
day, this
being
would have been a sticker.
built.
This might have been a sticker on, in Port Coquitlam or something, right? It would have been a sticker somebody put up asking people, please, can we get a mom and tots get together, right? You just want to have a little get together. This race stuff is huge, massive in the news. It's just crazy, right? It doesn't stop. So what is this? And I want to get your opinion over here, Gat, because speaking as probably one of the, I would say, sincerest white fellows, really, you asked me that one night, right? You said, Ro, will you help me save my people?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to mention that Christopher Freeland is not white. I want to remind everyone, first of all. But yeah, you want to talk some BLM? We can do that.
Yeah, let's do that, man. Let's just kind of ease into it first by looking at this moms and tots stuff. So what is this? So basically, a couple of parents get together, right? And they're like, you know what we want to do? We want to get together and we want to unite and do white things together, right? If you'd be so kind, Pan, to read this like a beautiful white mom.
Okay, so it's a flyer. It looks like it's on maybe a storefront or something. I'm not sure where this is being posted at, but it is a flyer out in public. It says, "Join us for whites only, moms and tots. Are you looking for somewhere your children can play with others that look like them? Are they tired of being a minority in their streets or daycares? Escape forced diversity and join other proud parents of European children as we create an atmosphere in which our kids can feel like they belong. Invest in your child's sense of well-being and racial identity by giving them the gift of time spent amongst their own people, because they deserve it."
When I see something like this, yeah, man, right away, this is Port Coquitlam. I think that's how you say it, Port Coquitlam. I don't know, BC, okay? And, you look at this and I think to myself, man, I would love to be at a white mom's get-together. Like, that's just where I would like to be. So I don't feel I want to stop it. I want to actually just kind of, like, be around, I mean, I know I'm not a mom, a white mom, but it would be cool.
I haven't seen this type of thing since the civil rights era.
Put it this way, okay? So the Indians are going to get together and they're going to have their own little mom brigade. That's what they're going to do. The Chinese are going to do the same thing. They're all going to have this because they got a shared language, right? You got to think of it like this: as white people, we got English, right? English is your language, right? That's just what it is. So whenever you speak and say things, other people are going to listen and hear what you're saying, right? Because you don't have like another secret language, like maybe, German or something. Okay? Even though typically, as you illustrated before, Gat, that is really what the white race, when we talk about the white race, it's coming from the northern European, the Germanic tribe descent. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think this is great. So like 40 or 50 years ago, you could look at something like this and be like, oh, maybe it's racist, maybe, right? But in this new era, of low birth rates for white people, this is actually a thing. It's not, pretty soon we are going to be a minority, even in our own country in the United States. I can't remember where it turns over. It's like 2040 or 2050 to where white people are actually the minority in the United States. So, yeah, man, I think we need stuff like this. People, like I said, 40, 50 years ago, you could call it racist, maybe call it racist. I don't even think then, right? But nowadays, this is something we actually need.
Yeah.
I'm pro mom only, parties.
Well, why can't anybody? How is it racist? If you just think about it for a second, how is it racist for any group who has a shared sense of values or whatever you want, or shared culture, to get together and sit down together and enjoy one another's company? And maybe, I mean, wouldn't it be refreshing? I feel like that. Wouldn't it be refreshing to talk to other people who can speak English even? Isn't it refreshing to be able to have a shared background and to have a discussion and not like try to, oh, you speak the English? Yes, I want to go to school. It's like, bro, I can't understand you. I can't understand you, dude. Like, that's the biggest problem I have with a lot of. That's why I left Toronto. Actually, I left Toronto in 2009. Okay, in January 2009. That's right. And I actually left. There was a snowstorm when I was driving back, coming back to Ottawa. Okay, I'd been there for 5.5 years. Lived at 401 and Yonge, just around there, right? I lived at 33 Empress, M2N 6Y7. My landlord was a Chinese man who didn't live in the country, and all the people around me were Chinese, and I couldn't speak to them. And I still remember. I think what broke my back was when somebody didn't, like, they were talking to me on the street somewhere and they didn't know if I could speak English. And I'm just like, and I didn't feel like that person was racist towards me. I felt like I'm living in a dump and this is normal because nobody can speak English here. I didn't feel that person was being racist to me. It's just nobody speaks English in Toronto. That was in 2009 when I left. So you tell me what it is. It's like, why can't you have a shared space? And if you said, hey, Chinese moms get together, or you know what they would do? They would do the same thing, but it would be written in Chinese. It would be written in one of those Chinese languages, right? You got Cantonese and you've got Mandarin. Pan, if you could do a little bit of Cantonese for us so we can understand. Cantonese English. Hell, brother.
No white, no black, especially no black, especially.
Okay.
No black.
So that's how. That's how you'd see. That's a Cantonese poster for Cantonese moms. So why can't, if you can do that, you can do that, but we're not allowed to do what we want to do. I can't celebrate, and I'd be really thankful to see. Listen, I had a Russian friend over there in Toronto. And he said to me, Ro, I love living here because I see so many pregnant white women. He goes, in Russia, nobody have baby. How did he say it? He said, in Russia, no baby have mommy. Something like that he said to me. Right? Brother. In Russia, no baby have mother. And I was like, yeah, wow, that sucks. Because the country, right, you can always tell the wealth of a country when a white woman has a baby, right, in a baby carriage. That's how you know the country is doing good, because people are procreating because they feel financially well off enough to do so. They feel stable, because of course you have contraception. Even though there's people now that I'm seeing online, I saw that one of the saddest things, I just want to kind of say this, I'm not somebody who likes abortion at all. I believe it truly is killing. Okay, and killing is also part of life, so put that duality together for you. I will never, my own bloodline, I mean, to me, this is just crazy talk, but anyhow, don't want to get into that too deep, I'm going to get angry and upset. But this fellow, what I saw him say is he recently broke up with his wife, and it came out that this guy had tried to abort 2 of his own babies, and his wife had actually stopped him from doing so. His name is that umbrella guy, and it was...
oh God!
It was really sick to see.
And
it upset
this is
me,
a YouTuber we've known for years. We go way back with this dude. Right. We know everything he's been up to, and this is the latest.
And that's the problem with this stuff, is because why did he feel that way? right? And there's too many white people who feel that way because they, you know, financially it's precarious, or maybe in his case he's just a degenerate. But you know, there's these issues are real. So when you see something like this, why shouldn't we celebrate any group of people who get together? Personally, you know, for me, I would just like to be in a group of people who are not like dumb, you know. It's not so much about your skin color or whatever, but I'd be like, if you're a self-selected group of people who actually have some sense, that would be nice. That would be really nice. But I can totally understand how, you know, a China mom wants to get together with other China moms, right? Because they're tiger moms. They do tiger mom things. A white mom wants to get together with a white mom. Why not? Why not? Because you have things in common. But of course, this is being spun as some kind of absolute, insane racism, right? Because this doesn't mean that you hate other people. That's not what it's saying here. It says that you are celebrating or want to be surrounded by other people that you like, who are like you, right? Who have the same kind of background as you. How the hell? I don't even feel comfortable, all right, in Brampton or something like that, because I'm not Indian like these guys are. I don't know their, you know, I just have nothing in common, right? It's so far removed from me being somebody who spent my entire life in Canada, who's been born in England, at 8 months old, moved to Canada. My parents moved me. As I've only known Canada, right? That's all I've known. I'm Canadian. So I don't feel comfortable in a place like Brampton. You're telling me that a white mom is going to feel comfortable with a bunch of... I mean, sure, it's nice to eat curry once in a while, but do you really want to eat curry every day, Pam?
No, and I mean, there's a couple things here. Like, I think it's normal for people to be with, you know, people they relate with, their own kind. So that's just kind of normal. And I also see the double standard where, you know, the Chinese can do this, or, you know, these different ethnic communities can do this, but it's racist if the whites can do that. You know, I see that double standard. But for me, if I was one of these mothers and I really wanted to like make a statement or, you know, just take it to the next level, I wouldn't say it's for whites only. I would just make like the regular sign, and then when like colored people showed up, you just kick them out. You're like, no, your kids aren't welcome.
Oh, right.
Get out. Get out. E.T. go home, you know, and just have some fun with it. This is a little boring to me, just the, you know, the flat statement, whites only. I'd like to bait them in and then F with them.
It's not a bad idea, you know. You got to get your kicks and you got to do what you got to do. And maybe that way, you know, this is an undercurrent. Don't tell me if there's a Chinese mom meetup and you go to that Chinese mom meetup that you're not going to feel welcome. They're just going to speak in Chinese over you, right? You're going to be like, so, you know, how about, you know, the Toronto Raptors, eh? And they're just like, okay, Pan, I'm a white mom, okay? I'm a white mom. All right, so I got my, I've got my extra large because I've just given birth and like my breasts are a little bit bigger than usual. Okay. And I'm, you know, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with the, like I'm a little thicker than usual. All right. And I'm
Okay.
a little bit uncomfortable about my body right now, but I'm also, I'm glowing. I'm moist, right?
Radiant. Oh, moist.
Yeah. I smell like. Oh man, I smell like a burger. I love burgers. And here I am, and I show up, and it's a Chinese mom's meetup, right? And it's I just happen to come in, and I'm like, hey, you guys. Here's my little bit. Here's Johnny, my baby.
What you want? What you want?
I was just, sometimes my breasts leak milk. What do you guys do? What do you? What do you? What? I saw this new Amazon product. It's like nipple guards. I was just.
I know what you talk. And I know what you talk.
But you guys breastfeeds, no?
Cream some young guy.
I hate China.
Racist white woman. Racist white.
In this LARP I've left already. I storm out. My breasts are heaving. I'm grabbing my kid. I'm dragging my kid.
You never
out.
come back. You never come back.
You know, I don't feel welcome, and that's when I decide enough is enough, and I start a moms-only children's group, a white moms-only children's group, because I got kicked out. That's my origin story. Remember, Spider-Man got bit by the Spidey bite, right, by the radioactive spider. Well, for me, I got diswelcomed from Chinese moms. That's what happened to me, and that's how I became radicalized.
What's up,
They
Stash?
radicalized me.
Nice lifting and
That's how
flex
they
video
radicalized
you
me.
put out recently, bro.
Okay. Yeah,
Hell yeah, man.
Right. Check
Makes
this out.
sense.
Yeah, it does, right? It
and
does
ripped.
make sense, doesn't it?
Good combo.
It makes total sense, but people aren't always going to understand that. All right, now we're going to take you to Philadelphia. Check this out over here in Philadelphia, what's happening, because these guys won't quit. Here we go. If you'd be so kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. It's a little blurry there.
Nope, that's what she
U.S.
said.
police U.S. police responding to ongoing looting in Center City, Philadelphia.
Okay, how's that, man? I try to make it a little clearer for you. Just up the resolution. How's that?
Let's see there. Yeah, that is much better. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes, sir. Okay. So, we've had some heavy-duty looting. We'll just click through a little bit of this, and then we're going to look at a couple of the videos. Oh, Hindustan. So, India's reporting this. Okay, here we go. If you'd be so kind. But let's see
Wow,
what India's got to say.
Hindustan Times. It says, fearless robbery in Philadelphia. Stores, including Lululemon, looted in City Center. Besides the looting, a security guard was assaulted at the Foot Locker. I remember Foot Locker.
Yeah, Foot Locker, man. We still got, I think we got Foot Locker. I don't know. I don't shop. I need a pair of boots, but I don't go to the store anymore. It's just such a pain in my ass. Okay, so let's take a look at some of this. And let's look at what BLM is doing, because they are 100% making their way back into, we thought they were done. You remember that? There was a $6 million house. Okay, $6 million. Let me see. I think I got to turn this off. It's really lagging. Hold on a second here, Pat. Sorry about that, brother. I have to.
Yeah, no worries.
It's the resolution a little lower again because it's just so high right now. Okay, let's take a look over here. Ooh. Oh, what are they saying here? Can you can you translate from?
Yeah.
You know Ebonics.
Yeah.
I'm just
Not
gonna-
normally.
yeah.
Normally, I could recognize it, but she's not speaking normal Ebonics. She's not from my neck of the woods. So.
She's saying, got one? What is she saying?
Okay, so I'm actually slowing it down here. Okay, so that
Terry in the chat, hail brother, she says he says she's saying Goonie Goo Goo.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna slow it down to 0.5. Let's see if we can hear this.
Oh my God.
Okay, got one. Got it. Okay, all right. This looks like an Apple store.
Ooga booga, ooga booga.
I mean, listen, I'm going to just say it, all right? How am I, an upstanding citizen of a modern nation, supposed to look upon this kind of behavior? What conclusion am I supposed to draw
Thanks, Toad. Thanks,
from
man.
this travesty
Appreciate that, man. What's up, 69?
of civilization, this retrograde behavior that threatens to engulf all of us
Thanks, dude.
in dark chaos? That's right, I said dark chaos. How am I supposed to look upon this?
Parallel bars.
How am I supposed to look upon this? This is an Apple store. Probably the highest tier of retail therapy that a man can buy. And here we have a pack of screaming banshees looting what really should be held to a, I would say, you expect to go to an Apple store and you expect a homo, let's be real here, to try to sell you an iPhone, right? That's what you expect. You expect a homo to sell you an iPhone.
True.
And you enjoy it, and you got this, he's talking with a San Francisco accent, and he's like, you can tell it. Yeah, and like, look at that. How? And you know what I mean? That's what you expect, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how they talk, isn't it? When they swipe up, you know what I'm talking about? When you show your notifications.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you expect. Expect a homo, but instead you get a hobo. I mean, this is insanity. What am I jumping. The jumping.
Bro. This is insane.
The jumping. The jumping. Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why white mothers make whites only groups, you know? This is why.
This is the reason.
Bro, there's any reason to twerk, bro.
Was that, brother?
They'll use any reason to twerk.
Yeah, they will use any reason to twerk. Any reason at all.
Bro.
Look, this dude's wearing a Halloween costume. He's wearing a fucking Halloween costume.
Oh, he's a little bit early.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Look at my hat.
Wait, is that Miles Morales? What's going on?
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. Miles Morales.
Miles Morales is not Spider-Man.
Oh, all right. Okay, so that was. Let me move that one over here. I'm gonna say that one for black off later. Okay, and then we.
Wait a minute.
Right?
Dada, American Dada. Thank you, bro.
Oh, dude. Okay, we got one more here. Got a couple of these, and then we're gonna really discuss and try to understand what is, you know, the probable outcome in this society. Let's take a look here. Okay, so we got some bicycle police.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Damn. Damn.
Oh.
Van pulls up. Here we go.
Dude, it's so cool. We got fucking weightlifters and friends and people
What'd she say?
from all over the
Free
world,
Philly?
from like Sweden, from England, from fucking
He
Philly,
can't
from
breathe.
New York,
He can't breathe.
Montreal. It's just so amazing. California, San Diego.
Free Willy.
What?
Well, she is. You are recording.
No, ow! Are you serious? Is she saying record this? Don't touch him. What are you talking about? Aren't you? Am I wrong here? Am I living
in her world, you know, though that's not looting or stealing, you know, in her world, that's just getting what is rightfully theirs. You know, this is reparations in the eyes of Black Lives Matter.
You know what? I got a little clip here, and they are talking about that. They're literally saying, okay, that this is just reparations, and this is the person over here, right? So this is the clip. Okay, it's saying this. I think this is the one here.
If somebody decides to loot a Gucci or a Macy's or a Nike, because that makes sure that that person eats.
Sorry, are they eating shoes? What?
Good.
You know, it's like if you remember this film, okay, Aladdin, came out in the early 90s, and it's about a little brown fellow who's trying to free his family or something, right? And he finds a genie in a lamp, and the genie is Robin Williams, and he's high on cocaine, and like Trudeau, of course, and you know, he grants him 3 wishes. I can't remember the rest, but that guy, he was stealing food because he was hungry. Now, I think she just said that a shoe is a Nike is a food.
That makes sure that that person has clothes.
Huh?
If you put a little Tabasco on it, a little hot sauce, good to go.
That person eats. That makes sure that that person has clothes. That's reparations. That is reparations. Anything they want to take it, because these businesses have insurance. They're going to get their money back. My people aren't getting anything.
Okay, so she's making a case here, right? That is effectively reparations. Reparations in the sense of historical harms being reparated. I think that's the word reparations, where it comes from. Reparated, of course, from the Latin term repare, also known as, it's actually the same root word for repast, which is the original word for dinner. So repare or reparations here meaning to make and right a historical injustice. What I want to know is, what did Lululemon do to this community of people?
What's a Lululemon?
What is a Lululemon? You don't know what a Lululemon is, man?
No.
This is where they're looting right here. Lululemon. Lululemon is, okay. You've seen these yoga pants?
Okay.
This is a company that started this fantastic trend of women wearing very tight yoga pants.
Okay.
So I want to salute them as patriots. And
Are the brothers and sisters looting the Lululemon store for yoga pants? Is that what's going on?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yeah, that's right. They're bitter with the lemon, says Dan Marshall. Red Surf says love Lulu. Okay. Scum says 500-pound women need not apply. That's something that's another topic entirely. There should be a weight class limit for yoga pants. I believe there should be. The only thing is that I believe in freedom. So I believe that we should, instead of governmentally mandating a weight class limit for wearing yoga pants, I believe instead it should be instituted via social norms, aka naming and shaming. Okay, public shaming. I think public shaming.
Fat shaming.
Fat shaming. Thank you, Pat. Exactly, right? But anyhow, that's another topic entirely. Okay, let's see here. Mandated, says Red Surf. Yeah, 150 pounds is the weight class limit to the Brisu. Yeah, let's take a look over here. Record this. Record this. These cops can't win. You know that? They can't win. I can't breathe! Okay, I got a question for you, Pan. When someone asks you, do Black Lives Matter, what do you say?
I say, no, they don't. Not any more than anyone else's lives matter. And you know what? Nobody matters. Nobody.
Right, right. I think, you know, the universe at large, we have to take care of ourselves, right? It's not as if we're preordained to greatness. We have to try to struggle. We've got to struggle. We've got to survive. We've got to attempt to make our lives better. Lives matter to ourselves. Our own lives, our children's lives matter to ourselves. But as a slogan to say this, right? We try to get into the mindset over here of a BLM supporter. Hold on a second here. They matter. They matter, Pan. They matter. 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 They matter.
You can't tell me Black lives don't matter. You can't tell me nothing. You didn't do nothing. Can't tell me Black lives don't matter. They matter.
Mom, they matter, they matter, they matter, they matter, they matter. Mom, 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 they matter, they matter, they matter, they matter, they matter. Mom, mom, you can't tell me they don't matter. Matter, they 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 matter, Bob.
Hold on.
I don't think they do.
Hold on, let me just get into the zone here.
Oh no! Oh God, we're going deeper.
Yeah, I gotta.
You gotta hump the chair
No,
first.
no, I'm not humping. I'm just.
Oh.
Just gotta rock back and forth. Hold on.
Oh God. The Spurg zone.
They matter, they matter, they matter, they matter, they matter, they matter, they matter. They matter, they matter, they matter, they matter, they matter. They matter, 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 they matter. They matter. They matter. They matter, they matter, they matter, they matter, they matter, they matter, they matter.
And then white people start to feel really guilty, and they're like,
we've got to make it up to you so much. What should we do? What should we do?
and then they're like, you can bend down and kiss my feet, white woman.
They're like, okay, I'll do that. I'm going to kiss your feet, you big, beautiful black man.
They matter, they matter, they matter, they matter, they matter.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, that's my work calling. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Sorry about that. That was. You remember? I got called one day when we were streaming. That's how I got fired. Remember that?
No. During the Freedom Convoy.
That's right. Yeah. Oh.
They matter, they matter, they matter, they matter, they matter, they matter, they matter. They matter, they matter, they matter.
Okay. Right. Here we go. What are we looking at here, Pen?
This is the lady they call Meatball. She's in one of those videos. I'm not sure if we saw her, but that's Meatball. They call her Meatball, and she said
Everyone must eat reparations, BLM.
Yeah.
That's Meatball.
All right, who is Meatball? Let's take a look who Meatball is. We got Meatball. So Meatball is a famous fat influencer. Let's take a look over here. This is from the New York Post. Yep.
New York Post. Teary-eyed influencer Meatball, who live-streamed Philadelphia looting mayhem, is charged with 6 felonies.
Is that the one who was filming this saying, "Got one! They got one!"
I wonder. It might be.
Okay, so let's see over here. So this is, if you'd be so kind, let's read a little bit of this. Let's see.
The Philadelphia social media influencer arrested while she live-streamed Tuesday night's looting mayhem fought back tears as she was charged with 6 felonies. Deja Blackwell, better known as Meatball, shared her first-hand view of the chaos in which looters targeted several businesses, including Apple, Foot Locker, and Lululemon, before being caught. In the videos posted to her Instagram stories, Blackwell can be heard laughing and cheering on the other looters as she stood by and watched the chaos unfold. At one point during her stream, Blackwell turned to face the camera and challenged the cops to arrest her.
Wow.
Tell the police they're either going to lock me up tonight or it's going to get lit. It's going to be a movie,
she said at one point.
Yo, that's amazing, Pat. Pat, that was amazing. That was amazing. That was amazing. Yeah. Keep going.
Here's what happened. We don't get no justice in this city.
She screamed as she joined a crowd of youngsters in the street. Blackwell's video showed hordes of looters rushing into Apple stores and running away with iPhones and tablets.
Free iPhone! Free iPhone!
Blackwell yelled.
How does, it's like, dude, I want to be like Jane Goodall, man. I want to study these people. I want to
Just go to Philadelphia.
I want to study these people. I don't understand the mentality. My ass would have been beat, man, had I even attempted even a quarter to 1/3 of this kind of stuff. Man, I can't imagine it. I would have got the tar beat out of me. It's just amazing. It's crime.
That Meatball.
That Meatball. Sad. Okay. So she got arrested. Interesting. 8 separate charges, including 6 felonies. I think you got a whole. Oh, shit.
Oh, there she is. She wildin'.
She wildin'. What does that mean? What does she wildin' mean?
Oh, she's acting crazy.
Okay. She wildin'. Is it wilding or wildin'?
Well, you say wildin' or wilding out. I don't know. It depends on how black you are, I guess.
Okay. Vitorianzo are resident experts in pneumonics here at the war campaign. No, brother. Okay. Right. And then what do we have over here? That's OJ orange juice?
Well, they pouring it on the iPad? What are they doing?
What the hell's happening here?
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite video. They got out with all the iPhone stuff, and then Apple, turns it all off remotely, and they can't use it anymore. And so, yeah, it's pretty funny. They're all mad.
Oh, I think I got that. Hold on a second here.
It's really the best video when they all find out that they just wasted their time.
Well, that's the
It's
thing.
amazing.
They got remote lock, right, on all the iPhones. I mean, that's just a thing. Okay, so here we go. I guess this is the one. Oh, there we go. Okay, so here we go. This is.
This is crazy. Oh my God, this is crazy. Ain't nothing. Oh my God, all these iPhones. Oh
Right, you got all.
Don't even work.
You got all these. You got all everything. No, they're going on. They're doing. They're doing alarms, right? Man, this is amazing. Look, and you know what? They're pouring orange juice.
Yeah, you're wasting orange juice. You're literally wasting food, and they're complaining about not being able to eat.
I was supposed to sell them iPhones for some foods.
Oh man, this is amazing. This is amazing. I don't get this at all, but hey, well, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. OJ references who's on birth. Yeah, you know, your remote unlock. You can't steal i devices. I don't think that's how it works. I think even Samsung do the same thing. They're gonna do a remote
Someone
lock.
tell me the TLDR, at least part of
It's
the
like, you know, this
thing in
really,
chat
and the
is-
police want to do this, right? They want to usher in robots, and I kind of like understand why. Now imagine, how many meatballs can you fit inside of this robot, Pen? How many do you think?
Can that arrest Meatball? I mean, that would be a video.
Why? I mean, just these, because these bots can't be racist, right? Because they're bots, they're robots. Okay, so they're like,
I am a robot. Hail, black fellow, please enter my pod. You are under arrest.
and then this white thing, right, just lifts open. And then, you know, they just, I don't know, maybe some robotic arms come out and grab one of them and then it closes. And that's how you, yeah.
So like the pod opens,
Right.
and then if you don't get in, you're resisting arrest automatically if you don't comply and
right.
get in.
I believe this possibly could be a psychological operation for us to accept these robots. Is that possible? Is that possible?
I don't accept anybody, especially robots. No.
Let's see what
Not
they
acceptable.
say. Right? Yeah, me too.
Devices like the K5 have the possibility to serve as a deterrent to crime, or at least learn best practices while using technology going forward.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, you're just basically saying that you want a robotic box for people. What do you think, Kat? Is that do they matter? Do they matter? They matter. They matter. That's my question for you.
I think that they should have went more with like a RoboCop design instead of that trash can looking thing. It's not gonna
Yeah. You're
Who's
not.
going to be scared of that thing? You're just going
Right.
to like round the corner and you're gone, you know?
It's like a fat ass R2D2.
An overweight R2D2 should not wear yoga pants. Okay, we got another one. Is this the meatball?
Holy shit.
And my girl.
Everybody must eat? Is that what Meatball's saying? Everybody must eat.
Poor Meatball talking about food, you know.
Everybody. Is that what Meatball's saying? Everybody must eat.
Mm-hmm. Well, we better pick a Gat as the Ebonics, the resident Ebonics
Let me
expert.
slow
Gat, is
down.
that what you're saying?
Well, that's a liquor store, by the way.
They're eating liquor, okay? Eating some Hennessy.
Okay, hold on.
Eating Hennessy, yeah.
I'm gonna slow it down here, okay? Because we're trying to understand how these people think. Oh shit.
Everybody must eat.
I think she said that. Everybody must eat, huh?
Everybody must eat.
Perpetually hungry.
Huh. Interesting.
Ain't your mama looking motherfucker?
Curious. Curious. Very curious. Very curious. Everyone must eat. And reparation. Ah, got it now. I got it now, Pango brother. There you go. Got it. Okay, everybody must eat. Eat, drink, be merry, says Rickety. Man, this is one of the greatest reasons that I've always loved Canada as a country, as a pure country. Okay, we've always had a very pure country here. And, you know, it's just because we don't have these kinds of problems. We don't have these kinds of problems.
Not yet.
No, whoa, hey. Step off that one, Pat. Step off that one, please. Okay.
Step off.
Yeah, you see that? I'm learning my Ebonics. Step off that one before I start to wilding. Okay.
Pull up, sucker. Pull up.
Pull up.
Wait,
yeah.
You got the Eritreans, though. I mean, it's a different type of BLM, you know?
Right. Yeah. No, we got like Africans. Like we got like Africans from Africa. You know, we don't have Mexicans really. Mind you, Mexican food is kind of popular now. It's coming up. But yeah, we have a different, like, because we don't have, well, I'll show you, right? I mean, this is in the news, and it's just friggin' crazy, the amount of people who are walking up. I think I got it here. Yeah, here it is. Okay, take a look at that. What am I seeing over here?
From ex-Twitter account called Travis in Flint says, if you were abandoning your country because it was so dangerous, would you leave your wife and children behind? And it has this throng of which seems to be immigrants.
That, to me, if this was coming to my door, I would close my door. You know that?
Yeah, right? Get another door on top of that door.
I would get that. I would
deadbolt that door.
I would go on Amazon, and I would type in, "I need another door." Right? That's what I would do. I'd like, "Can I get another door, please? Because I need another door." I don't know what
fortress.
You need yeah, a fortress door. Right? I don't know what this is, but I want to just point out here something that I noticed while I was looking at this morning. It's how many people are wearing socks and sandals at the same time. Black socks and sandals. If you start from the ultimates right over here, or as they say in Mexico, the última vez, you've got this Nike slippers with the black socks, and you've got this other fellow over here with black socks and you know, la chancleta, and then you keep on going through and you've got some more. This guy's not wearing socks, this guy's wearing socks, black socks. That's the style. Black socks, and it just keeps going on over here. You know, it's all the way down. If this was coming to my door, doesn't matter what kind of socks or shoes you're wearing, I would definitely close the door, go on Amazon, and order a second door immediately. So, you know, this is, when you see stuff like this in the city happening, to me it is just absolutely amazingly crazy. I have a hard time understanding it as a Canadian person.
You know what that tells me?
Yeah.
It ain't that hard. They always paint this picture of these poor Mexican or Central American, South American immigrants struggling to get to the country and make a better life. This dude walked here in sandals, bruh.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
It ain't that tough. It ain't that tough then, is it? You know that? You've got Nike sandals and black socks that look like they're brand new black socks to me.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, those are brand new black socks, you know. I mean, I'm still wearing socks from the last 10, 12 years, you know, that's just what I do. You know, this is the biggest thing I found, right? When I saw a lot of these Syrian refugees coming into Ottawa, this is what was so upsetting. I actually changed the way my children dress because of them. So here we are, and we go to the park here in Orleans, Ottawa, right? Nice neighborhood, you know what I mean? I live in my mom's basement because I can't afford a house, and I never want to leave my mother. That's just, I can't.
Oh.
Yeah, man, I love my...
How sweet.
I love my mom and I love my cuck mom-in-law. Okay, so...
Wow.
Just one of those things. And they would come into the parks, right? These Syrian refugees in quotes, and they would roll up in these SUVs, and their children were dressed better than my children. I got so, like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So I came home, right, and I said to my wife, I got really, really pissed off. I'm like, I want you to go through every single pair of pants and shirts that those kids or our kids have right now. And any single pants or shirts with a hole in it, I want it thrown out right now. Because my kids are walking around, right? Because they're jumping, running, everything. And they got holes in their, around their knees and whatever else. And it's all because they're not paying attention. I got 5 kids, you know what I mean? They don't pay attention, really. But for me to see these people dressed better than my children, and I said, now you go to Walmart, and I want the best sports equipment gear, just like these fellas are wearing with the Nike sandals. I want that Walmart gear right now, brand new clothes on every one of those kids. You take that credit card and you just buy every single one of them new clothes, because never again, ever, will a refugee be dressed better than my children. It was such an embarrassment. It really was, you know what I mean? It was just such an insult to my heritage. So yeah, I agree with you, Kat. You're the R.
I agree. Yeah, never let an immigrant dress better than your own children, ever.
Exactly. Yeah, the best from Walmart. That's an oxymoron, says Mad RX7. Debatable. You know that? Victoria Winter says, I made my children quilts from their old clothes. Wow, beautiful. Holes are in style now, says Kitchener Leslie. Yeah, right? Yeah, holes are in style now. No, it was just, it really made me feel, I felt, how could it? You know what I mean? How could I see these people dressed better than my children? It was such an embarrassment. And I really went on a tear. And I was probably a little short with my wife. But, you understand why over here. Okay, so what do we have over here? Let's see.
Okay, from Reuters. It says Costa Rica to declare state of emergency amid migrant surge. Wow, okay. San Jose, September 22nd, Reuters. Costa Rica's President Rodrigo Chavez said on Tuesday that he has ordered officials to declare a state of emergency as the number of migrants passing through the small Central American nation has risen sharply. I have instructed the security ministry to take a firm stance with anyone who takes Costa Rica's kindness for weakness. Here, let me read that differently. I have instructed the security ministry to take a firm stance with anyone who takes Costa Rica's kindness for weakness, Chavez said at a press conference, referencing recent riots by migrants crossing the country.
Okay, so they're upset because people are coming through, is that right? So they're coming through Costa Rica, going through, passing, 60,000 people have passed through the Costa Rican border town shared with Panama, I guess it's called Paso Canoas, where fewer than 20,000 people live. So they're just going through. Okay, I get it. And then they're stopping people, right? They're stopping people from coming through. But we can't stop people, right? The States, Canada, they're Roxham Road. Hey, just come on in. Just come on in. Oh, I like this. Look at this. In Reuters, they're making it out. Canada's Trudeau apologizes after Nazi veteran praised in Parliament. Yeah, great. Let's just hear this one.
Unreserved apologies for what took place on behalf of all of us in this House. I would like to present unreserved apologies for what took place on Friday and to President Zelensky and the Ukrainian delegation for the position they were put in. For all of us who were present to have unknowingly recognized this individual.
What do you mean unknowingly? I do not buy this line. I'm sorry, I do not buy this line. Chrystia Freeland, I'm going to reiterate it, she is a history buff. She has spent her entire life not studying finances, right? Just because she's the Minister of Finance, right? Let me see here. I'm going to give you exactly, because this is, I want to put this out over there, okay? I want people to really know, like to see this. And I know a lot of people know, but I want to just do it one more time. It really pisses me off. Really, really does. Okay, so she is the Minister of Finance, but what is her background? What exactly is her background? Well, here we go. She completed a bachelor's degree at Harvard University, studying Russian history and literature before earning a master's degree in Slavonic studies from the University of Oxford. Then she became a journalist. You're telling me that somebody who has a bachelor's degree from Harvard, studying history and literature, and then studying Slavonic studies. Slavonic studies, I think it encompasses a little bit more of that area. All right, it is that whole Slavic area, Slavic studies. Here you go. You got East Slavic, which is Belarusian, Russian, Ukrainian, South Slavic, Bosnian, Bulgarian, Croatian, Macedonian. I actually ate Macedonian. I ate a kilo of Macedonian kebabs last night.
Nice.
Yeah, it's called Sivapbi. Okay.
Pretty good?
Yeah, man. I ate a kilo of these kebabs yesterday. Actually, people used to call me Rohan Kebab Paul for a reason. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's right.
That's the reason.
That's the reason right there. So I actually ate a kilogram of Macedonian pork and beef sausages last night. I just want to put that out there. Yeah, man. Yeah, stay on point, says Billy D. Okay, yes. So Chris, okay, so you're telling me that she didn't know which kebab came from which grill? Is that what you're telling me? You're telling me that this kebab, who threw other kebabs on a grill for too long, way too long, overcooked a ton of kebabs. You didn't know that this guy burnt a lot of kebabs on a kebab grill? Is that what you're telling me?
It doesn't take like, a master's in history to know that during World War II, someone from the region of Ukraine fighting against the Russians was not on our side in that war.
Yeah, her face giving the old Putin award, she was creaming her jeans. Oh, you're talking about, there's quite a few nice pictures of her, actually, where she was, I mean, you can just see it. This is for her. Let me see if I can get that photo. I just want to show this. I know everybody's seen this. I know. It's just like, what the point I'm trying to make here is that she's wet. She's wet.
No, God. Jesus, bro.
For Zelensky.
Oh, God.
For the old Nazi, she's wet. Wet for them.
She is, though.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say here. She's wet.
God, gross.
That's what I'm trying to say. She's wet for them. All right? Don't tell me she's not wet for them. She is.
Oh, God.
All right, let's change topics. Sorry, I went too far with that.
Mike Duncan in the chat says, show it. No.
What are we looking at? What are we looking at?
Is that Jimmy? That's Jimmy Dollywall.
What are we looking at over here?
He's being spoon-fed like a child.
And this is India. People don't realize this. Okay, so when I went to India for the first time, I was 27 years old. And I'm walking around, and best friends, okay, will actually hold their pinky finger. This is not really in Punjab, it's in Haryana, it's in Delhi. And they will hold fingers like this, like their pinkies, okay? Just their
pinky swear for a long time.
Right, and you walk like swinging your hand with pinkies. And it's
seems a little gay.
I'm not kidding, dude. I'm not kidding. And you just pinky walk in the streets, and it's like it's not a gay thing. It's I don't know if it is, right? But
wow.
I mean, but that's how it is. So there's a lot of you says Billy D, gay says Bad Egg Productions. That's just that's just what it is. That's how they do things there. I mean, for myself, I'm used to having a lot of people around me. I'm used to being touched. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm just used to, like, my body, I feel like belongs to the community. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, man.
All right.
Same with purse nuggets. And beast.
Let's see what this fellow says. Let's take a look at this.
It's Kirk Lubomov on X Twitter, and he says Canada's NDP party leader Jagmeet Singh is being spoon-fed ice cream by Parkvar Singh Gulai, who was put on the no-fly list in 2018 by Canadian Security and Intelligence Services for allegedly being a suspect of being a facilitator of terrorist-related activities. Khalistani. What do you make of this? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And spoon.
They're close friends.
And that is a very looks a little homo. You know that? I mean,
Yeah,
just,
no, they're about to lock pinkies and walk around casually.
Not even the gayest thing about it. Look, he's like wearing a matching turban to his boyfriend's shirt.
Oh,
it's the same color.
Yeah.
They're like
color coordinated.
They're like matching. Yeah, dude, that's really gay. Even more so than
Oh man, yeah, we've. I feel like a lot of Canadian politics are, politics and sensuality. It's where that nexus where they meet. You know what I'm saying? It's
no politics and sensuality. No.
Whether it's Freeland embracing Zelensky and just getting wet, or Jimmy Dollywall, right? His real name, Jagmeet Singh, Jimmy Dollywall, being
spoon-fed by a hairy cousin,
by his hairy terrorist cousin. Whatever it is, I feel like Canadian politics is at a nexus of sensuality and political influence. It's that combination, that right? You know what I'm saying? It's just that perfection, right? Right? Either way, it's one of those things. Gross says make a mark. Yes. Sensuality. ... Blackmail says Ron. Lovers scream says Kilo. You got it. And there you go. I think we're going to leave it here. We're going to be. I've got some family stuff on Monday, so I'm not going to be here, so we won't do a show on Monday. But we will be back again on Thursday. I'm going to be with my Cuck family. So a big hail to the chat. Big hail to the chat. Hail, brethren. And you know what? I would say that we're living in interesting times. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the ride. I think it's hilarious. I think it's fun. I think it's funny, especially after the last couple of years of being very tense. I feel like finally my sphincter is relaxed. You know what I mean? And I've come to enjoy it.
No,
rather than.
I mean, it was serious.
Yeah,
it was serious there. Like post convoy. It was serious there for a minute, but we kind of have a better, perspective at this point, and we see things for what it is. And what really matters, I think, is just having fun. And it's really cool when we have the chat with us, because then we're not talking to ourselves. So hail the chat. We're going to see you again on Thursday.
Hail, brother. Thank you for being here.
Committee will come to order. We welcome everyone to today's forum on victims of violent crime in Chicago. Chair now recognizes the gentlelady from Illinois.
President Trump, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Thank you.
I want to dive right into this, a lot to get to.
Good.
There are a number of things that make your campaign unprecedented. You are the first former president to run for re-election in more than 100 years. You are facing 4 indictments and have an incredibly significant lead in the GOP primary polls. But I want to ask you this, Mr. President. Why do you want to be president again?
Well, it's a very simple answer, and I can give it very easily. It's called Make America Great Again. Our country is in serious trouble. I don't think we've ever been so low in terms of certainly opinion, world opinion, and country opinion. People are devastated. They look at what's happening with millions of people coming in, millions of illegal immigrants coming into our country, flooding our cities, flooding the countryside. I think the number is going to be 15 million people by the time you end this. By the end of this year, I think the real number is going to be 15 million people. They come from prisons. They come from mental institutions, insane asylums. They say, sir, please don't use that term, but it's true. They're terrorists at a level. It was very interesting. On NBC, I saw a poll, and I saw some statistics, and it said in 2019, there were no terrorists. They caught no terrorists. There was nothing that they saw. There was no anything. And now, this year, it's a record number like they've never seen before. So we did a great job at the border. We did a great job with the military. We did a great job with inflation. We had essentially no inflation. We had a great economy. And we didn't have an Afghanistan disaster. We were getting out, but we were going to get out with dignity and pride, not the way they got out. That was a surrender and an embarrassment and horrible. We gave $85 billion worth of equipment to the Taliban. We had death, so much death and so much horrible destruction. And it was a terrible thing. I think it was the lowest point in the history of our country. Now, with all of that, we can change it and we can make America great again, and that's why I'm doing this.
Well, and you have talked about a lot. We are going to delve into a number of issues you brought up. You talked about all the people coming across the border. Of course, a lot of families also coming across the border as well. I want to talk to you about that a little bit later on. But first, let's talk about the breaking news today. We learned just a short time ago that the president's son, Hunter Biden, was indicted by a federal grand jury on 3 gun charges. Given that, Mr. President, can you continue to say that there are 2 systems of justice?
Well, I think there's no question about it. He had a plea deal that was the deal of the century. The art of the deal. You could write a book on it, The Art of the Deal. And all of a sudden that was broken up by a judge who was able to, a brilliant judge actually, who was able to see through what was happening. And it's a sad situation. I mean, nobody should be happy about this. I'm not happy about it. Nobody is. It's a very sad thing. It's so bad for our country. But, you know, if you think about it, I've been under investigation from the day I came down the escalator. And phony investigation, fake investigations, investigations that I beat every single time, still under investigations. But it's a very sad thing, and it's a slippery slope, and dangerous, very dangerous for our country.
But you talked about the plea deal, but now Hunter Biden's been indicted. He's facing very serious charges. So doesn't that undercut your entire argument that there are 2 systems of justice in this country?
It's one of 12 charges. There are 12 possible charges.
And he's still under investigation.
This is the only charge that doesn't affect his father.
Well, he's still under investigation.
Well, sure, maybe. I mean, let's see what happens. But this is the only charge that doesn't affect Joe Biden. This was the gun charge. But gun charges are very serious. You know, people have had gun charges and gone to jail for a lot of years. I pardoned some people who I thought it was just horrible what happened, but they were put in jail for many, many years. Rappers and others. So, look, it's a bad thing, but it's one of 12, and it's the one charge that doesn't affect Joe Biden.
Well, of course, there's no evidence that the president has any link to his son's business dealings. Let me ask you, though, about a second.
I don't necessarily. He called in. I mean, he called in all these meetings. He was calling in on the meetings. He was put on speakerphone, and every single day, and
the witness
literally
testified.
many calls. And what about the fact that he got rid of the prosecutor for $1 billion?
Well, the witness
you don't
testified.
get rid of this prosecutor, we're not giving you $1 billion to Ukraine. He said that. I mean, there are a lot of things here.
Mr. President, the witness who testified, though, said that he never heard any discussion of business when President Biden was put on the
Well,
phone.
wait. You saw the prosecutor thing on
about-
television, because I saw it on your network. He said, you don't get rid of this prosecutor, I'm not giving $1 billion.
That was looked into as well, and as you know, there was
Oh,
never
come
any
on.
wrongdoing.
If I ever said that, quid pro quo.
Let's move on to what a second Trump term would look
Sure.
like. When you launched your campaign in March, you told the crowd, quote, I am your retribution. What does that mean? What does that look like?
I think retribution is talking in terms of I have to protect people. What they're doing to people is so horrible. They're putting people in jail for long periods of time. Firemen, policemen, accountants, even lawyers. They're in prisons for years now and don't even have trials in some cases. And if you look at Antifa and other groups, practically nothing happened to them. They burned down Portland, they burned down Minneapolis, they took over Seattle. I mean, they literally took over a big chunk of the city. People died and nothing happened to them. We have to protect all people.
But when you talk about retribution, are you talking about directing your attorney general to try to go after your political enemies?
When I talk about retribution, I'm talking about fairness. We have to treat people fairly. These people on January 6th, some of them never even went into the building, and they're being given sentences of, many years.
Are you going to pardon
And nothing
those
is
people
happening. Well, I'm going to look at them, and I certainly might if I think it's appropriate. No, it's a very, very sad thing, and they're dividing the country so badly, and it's very dangerous.
Well, Mr. President, we're going to delve into that a little bit later on, but I want to stay on this idea of what you mean by retribution. Are you looking to appoint an attorney general who will prosecute the people you tell them to prosecute?
I'm looking to appoint an attorney general who's going to be tough on crime and fair. Very simple.
And go after your political enemies?
No, I would never do that. But Biden has done that. Look, Biden, these aren't indictments against me. These are Biden indictments. This isn't God coming down and very fairly said, "Oh, you spoke badly about an election." The election was rigged. There's no question about that. There's so much proof on it. Even if you go to the more modern day proof with they call it Twitter files, FBI and Twitter, or you take a look at the Amazon stuff or the Google stuff, or you take a look at 2,000 Mules, you take a look at all of the ballot stuffing that's on tape, you take a look at the fact that the legislatures didn't approve a lot of the things that were done in the elections and they had to approve. And we could go on forever. We could go on forever. But no, I want somebody that's going to be strong, respected, tough, and fair.
Just to go back to a couple of the points you said, the ballot stuffing, that's something that's been debunked.
It hasn't
As
been
you
debunked.
know,
It's on camera.
But I do want to keep moving forward.
Yeah,
And
but
of course,
Kristen, it's on camera. Hundreds and even thousands and thousands of people. You take a look. True the vote. Take a look. It's on camera.
But Mr. President,
they have
you know,
thousands of
Republican
pictures.
officials
But I
and
know,
top
but
law
Kristen, you can't say
officials
it.
have
They have
told you that
thousands
that's
of pictures of
debunked.
people. I know you have to say that for your network, but you shouldn't say it. Because that's the problem.
But Mr.
The
President,
news has lost such power.
Let's stay on track, though, Mr. President. Let's stay on
But
track
you're
with
saying
this question.
it hasn't. We have thousands of essentially motion pictures of people stuffing the ballot boxes.
But Mr.
Tens of
President,
thousands.
they're not stuffing the ballot boxes, and you've been told that by your top law enforcement officials. But let's stay on track because we have so much ground to cover.
You have
We
people that went
ground
and voted in one place, another place, another place. As many as I understand, 28 different places in one day with 7, 8, 9 ballots apiece. They can't do anymore because it would look too phony. These were professional people. They were stuffing the ballot boxes. It's there. I mean, it's there to
You
see.
took your
A lot of people don't
court,
like looking at it.
60 different cases all across the country. You lost that, but let's stay on track.
We
because
lost
have
because the
so
judges
many-
didn't want to hear them.
Mr. President,
But if
so
this
many
if this
topics
were
to
ever before a court, we would win so easy. There is so much evidence that the election was rigged. And you may not even put the section on your show, and you'll have to decide what you want to do. But people know it was rigged. Look, the media,
Mr. President,
when I
there's
first
no
got
evidence
involved
of
in
that.
politics,
As you know, there's no evidence of that. You have so many different
tremendous
topics.
evidence.
I want to talk about what a
Listen, let me ask you this.
Mr.
You agree
President-
there was Twitter files, right?
Mr. President,
You agree there were 51 intelligence agents that lied. You agree with
I'm
that?
not the one who's being interviewed. Let's
Well, no,
stay
but-
on track
no,
because
but
I want to talk about
that's rigging the
policy,
election.
because that's what voters want to hear about, Mr. President. Let's talk about what's happening on Capitol
Go
Hill
ahead.
right now.
Go
Speaker
ahead.
McCarthy announcing is launching an impeachment inquiry this week into President Biden. Do you see this as a part of the retribution that we've seen?
No, not at all. I think, look, you look at the terrible things that have been happening with respect to Biden. Look at everything. Jamie Comer, Jim Jordan, who are fantastic people and very legitimate people. I watched Jamie Comer just a little while ago talking about a lot of different facets of what's going on. And he was the one that said, I guess there are 12 things where it looks like it's stone cold guilty. And the gun charge is only one of the 12. He said this is the only one that doesn't implicate Joe Biden.
So, but My question for you, did you talk to Speaker McCarthy about this House impeachment inquiry?
No, I don't talk to him.
Tell him that he should open a House
No,
impeachment
I don't do
inquiry?
that. I don't think he'd do that. I mean, he wouldn't do it based on me, no.
Did you
Not-
talk to your Republican allies on Capitol Hill and say you should support this?
No, I don't have to talk. They're more proactive than I am. They think it's terrible. I will say this, they think I was treated very unfairly. I mean, when I was impeached for a perfect phone call, and now it turned out to be perfect, I hope you will admit that at least, because I was right, 100% right. But I was impeached for a perfect phone call, and how sad that is. And we had 196 to nothing vote for Republicans. Very unusual for the Republican Party. I was so proud of them. 196, the entire House, not one person dissented. And then other than Romney, who sort of gave me half a vote, but we had 100% in the Senate. People think I was treated very unfairly.
Well, the people who
And I know I was
the
treated.
people who voted for that impeachment say that the phone call that you referenced was about a quid pro quo.
It was perfect. But my phone call was perfect. My phone call was saying, please investigate any crimes that you see. And by the way, I'm mandated to do that as the President of the United States. And it was really a call to congratulate him on winning the election. But
Mr. President, let's...
no, when you talk about quid pro quo, please don't talk about quid pro quo, because there was none in the call at all. Where there's
That
a
was
quid
the
pro,
heart.
where
What I'm
there
saying
is
is
a
that was
quid
the
pro
heart
quo
that impeachment.
was when Biden said very strongly, we're not going to give them the $1 billion unless they get rid of the prosecutor. That's a quid pro quo.
Mr. President, let me take a step back here, because a lot of voters say what they want to talk about right now is your vision for the future.
Sure.
And I've been traveling to a lot of the early voting states, and they say that your focus on the past is a problem for them. What do you say to those voters?
I have no focus on the past, except that you have to learn from history. You have to learn from the past. We had an election that was very, very terrible. It was a terrible thing for our country. And you have to learn from that. You can't forget that and just go. Now, with all of the things that we said, I had the best economy maybe in history.
We're going to talk about it next.
Right.
So let's stay
I
on
had the
track.
best economy in history, and I'm going to do it again. I had the best energy. We were energy independent, soon to be energy dominant. Now we're begging for energy. I mean, what they've done to this country, they're destroying our country.
We're going to talk about the economy in just a minute. But before we move on from Capitol Hill, do you think Republican hardliners should abandon their threat to shut down the government over their spending priorities now that there is this impeachment?
No, I think if they don't get a fair deal, we have to save our country. We have $35 trillion in debt. We have to save our
So
country.
you would shut
there's-
down the government? You'd support that?
I'd shut down the government if they can't make an appropriate deal, absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about the economy. And I want to start by talking about this big standoff between the auto workers and the big three auto manufacturers.
Yeah.
My question for you, Mr. President, whose side are you on in this?
I'm on the side of making our country great. The auto workers are not going to have any jobs when you come right down to it, because if you take a look at what they're doing with electric cars are going to be made in China. The auto workers are not going to have any. I'll tell you what, the auto workers are being sold down the river by their leadership, and their leadership should endorse Trump. The reason is, you got to have choice. Like in school, I want school choice. I also want choice for cars. If somebody wants gasoline, if somebody wants all electric, they can do whatever they want. But they're destroying the consumer, and they're destroying the auto workers. The auto workers will not have any jobs, Kristen, because all of these cars are going to be made in China. The electric cars automatically are going to be made in China.
So let's talk about UAW's leadership. The president, Sean Fain, has withheld his endorsement of President Biden. But this is what he had to say about you. Quote, another Donald Trump presidency would be a disaster. How would you win that endorsement?
Well, if that's the case, I probably won't win his. I don't know the gentleman, but I know his name very well. And I think he's not doing a good job in representing his union, because he's not going to have a union in 3 years from now. Those jobs are all going to be gone because all of those electric cars are going to be made in China. That's what's happening. Number one. Number two, the electric cars are much more expensive, and they don't go far enough. So if somebody wants to take a little bit of a long, just like the trucks, if somebody wants to take a little bit of a long ride, let's go to Maine, or let's go to Kentucky from New York. You can't do it. I mean, you have to stop all the time. They don't go far enough. They're very expensive. They have a lot of drawbacks. Now, with that being said, some people are going to want them. Some people are going to travel short distances. What they're doing with our trucking industry is a disaster, because they want all electric trucks. And a truck on a large, with a large tank, large gasoline or diesel capacity, can go up to 2,000 miles. An electric truck goes 300 miles. So what are these guys going to do? They're going to stop every 300 miles and recharge their truck and spend 3 hours?
Let's move on and talk about another big picture issue when it comes to the economy. The issue of interest rates, inflation, something that you've talked a lot about. The Federal Reserve is obviously independent, but I wonder, Mr. President, if you are re-elected, would you direct your Federal Reserve chair to lower interest rates?
Well, you know that I put a lot of pressure on him. It was outside pressure because nobody knows whether or not you can really do that, but I did because I thought his interest rates were too high, and he ultimately dropped his interest rates. The same gentleman, as you know. But it was a lot of pressure. I mean, I was very active on that. Right now, interest rates are very high. They're too high. People can't buy homes. They can't do anything. I mean, they can't borrow money. The banks don't have the money. The banks aren't lending the money. The banks, by the way, Chase Manhattan Bank, Bank of America, they discriminate against conservatives. It's a disgrace, and they shouldn't be allowed to. And I'm going to do something about that. But you take a look at banks throughout the country, and I think because of the regulators, but you take a look at Bank of America and Chase, they discriminate against conservatives and Republicans. Oh, we'll give you plenty of evidence.
Okay, all right. Well, let's stay on track with this question, though. So just to be very clear, if you were reelected, would you direct your Fed chair to lower interest rates?
It depends. Depends where inflation is. But I would get inflation down because drill we must. We will be drilling for oil. We are going to become, again, energy independent. We are going to reduce our debt because we're also going to become energy dominant. You know, we were ready to go dominant within a matter of months. We would have been making so much money. We have more oil, I call it liquid gold, under our feet than any other country, Saudi Arabia, Russia. There's no country with more, and it's sweet. It's the finest. We have the best. You know, we're taking it from Venezuela. You know what it is? Tar. It's the worst.
Mr. President, are you going to appoint a new Fed chair if you're reelected?
Well, I guess he would have 2 years left or something like that, so we'll see.
Okay, all right.
You know the word jawboning? I did a lot of jawboning against him, and he ultimately lowered interest rates. We had low interest rates. We had the best housing market ever. We had people buying homes. Today, people can't buy homes.
Economists are looking at some of the figures right now. The fact that the unemployment rate is at 3.8%. And they say it looks like the U.S. may not dip into a recession. What do you make of that assessment?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, people are going to, they say that, and then you end up in a depression. They say you're going to do great, you end up bad. And the opposite. Most of them don't know what they're doing. It's a touch, it's a feel. And I predicted a lot of markets. I predicted a lot of things, frankly. You know, you say Trump was right about everything. I think that the way it's going now, you're going to have to, things are not going right now very well for the consumer. Bacon is up 5 times. Food is up horribly, worse than energy. Energy is starting to go up at a level that we haven't seen in a long time, meaning a couple of years since he took over, because I had energy prices very low. I had gasoline very low. We have to get the energy down, which they will never do. And they kept it artificial because they took the strategic reserves, which I had a lot to do with filling up for the first time ever. They took the strategic reserves and he issued it to everybody so that he could keep the gas prices down. Now, strategic reserves are at the lowest level they've ever been at, and we need that for war.
And there are a lot of factors that have contributed to
Well, no, the big factor is the fact that he took that oil.
Let's talk about
taxes. He took
taxes.
that and he wanted to have low gas prices for an election, and now we have nothing left.
Mr. President, there are a lot of factors, including global factors, that went into that. Let's talk about taxes, though.
I don't know why people stick up for him so much when he makes bad decisions, like you. I don't know why, and I have a lot of respect for you, and you were very fair in the debate, but I don't know why you and other people say, oh, it's okay that he destroyed the strategic petroleum reserves. I mean, why do you do that? Or it's okay that he has open borders. Somebody was in your position, not quite as good, said this morning, oh, having open borders is a wonderful thing. I don't know why, and I think that's why the media has lost so much credibility.
President, we're just having a conversation. Let me talk to you about taxes and your differences with President Biden. over taxes.
Sure.
He wants to raise corporate tax rates to 28%. It's reported you want to lower them to 15%. Is that true?
I'd like to lower them a little bit if we could, but what I want to do is we have to get some income coming in. You know, when I lowered taxes, we took in more revenue.
To 15%?
You know that when depends on where we are at the time. You know, a lot happens in a year. But when I lowered taxes, I cut taxes tremendously, created tremendous jobs. But more importantly, we had more revenue with lower taxes than we did with higher taxes.
You also added $8 trillion to the national debt. Your GOP challenger, Nikki Haley, made that point, saying, quote, the truth is that Biden didn't do this to us, Republicans did this to us. Does she have a point?
We had a thing happen to us. We had the greatest economy in history, and then we got hit with COVID. And we had to keep this beautiful thing going. And if I didn't do that, if we didn't put some money in, nobody knew what COVID was. Remember, this was a new thing that came in. Somebody said it's dust coming in from China. It came from China. They tried and denied it, or they tried for a little while, and we didn't let it. It came from Wuhan, actually, which now they agree. Everybody's now agreeing that it came from Wuhan. I said that years ago. But we had to do things that were very severe. We had to let some money come out. We were on the verge of doing something that was amazing. We were going to have energy at a level bigger than Russia and Saudi Arabia combined. That energy was going to be sold to Europe and all other places. The prices would have come down. We were going to make a fortune, and we were going to start paying off debt. Instead, we got hit with COVID. People didn't need oil because nobody was driving all over the world. I mean, frankly, it was a disaster. What China did to the world with COVID is something that we're going to get to the bottom of, and they have to pay something back. You know, nobody can pay back the cost of all those lives and all the money that was lost, but nobody can pay back the lives and all of the
for like 3 hours. That's all.
Including China. But you know what? They have to pay something back.
To Nikki
They have
Haley's
to do
key
something.
argument. What do you say to her?
What does Nikki Haley know? I mean, I know Nikki Haley very well. She said, I'm the greatest president. She left, she said, I'm the greatest president. Now she's running for office and she says something. Look, Nikki Haley doesn't know anything about it. She's a politician. She knows nothing about it. Very nice woman. Some people like that, I would say. But she left office. She said very strongly, I will never run. He was a great president. And then in some cases said the greatest president in my lifetime. In one case said the greatest president ever. Now she's running.
I was gonna say, I gotta do it off stream because I gotta match the font and the font size and everything, and I will change it though. I didn't see that before, man. So I changed the top. I didn't change the bottom. All right, let's flex to end it. To register, just for
at all. It would have never
keeping track.
Russia would have never got, just by sheer force of personality, but beyond personality, what happened is when oil hit $100 a barrel, and by the way, it's right there right now again. Putin makes a fortune on this war. You know, everybody said, oh, he can't afford it. If Biden allowed my policies to stay in place, oil would right now be
feeling happy. We got the endorphins.
and Putin wouldn't be able to afford them.
Let's read somebody. Thank you everybody for being here. Lou, Toad, Christian, Cloud9, Russ, Sour Stash. 3 hours. Thank you everybody.
Their states' restrictive laws put in place.
Is everybody? Baron, of course.
So my question for you, Mr. President, is
we may or may not raid somebody.
Women's lives are at risk. Doctors are being forced to turn away patients in need or risk.
Oh, thank you for all the bits, man. Thank you for like the $2.
A little bit of a long answer. I hope you have time.
I appreciate that, man.
I'm here for
So you have Roe v. Wade. For 52 years, people, including Democrats, wanted it to go back to states.
Tomorrow, I can't come to Montreal, dude. I have my insurance fall event, life insurance, so I got to do this here. Maybe next weekend. Let's plan for next weekend, maybe, man. It could be during the week again now.
The people, the Democrats, that say after 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, and even after birth, you're allowed to terminate the baby.
I just have to. Democrats are not saying.
Of course they do. You have a Virginia governor,
Russ,
previous governor,
Oh my God.
who said after the baby
We
is
are gonna
born,
raid Russ,
you
but
will make
he's-
a determination, and if you want, you will kill that baby. The baby is now born.
Democrats writ large are not talking about that. Only
He get
1%
banned,
of
but we're gonna raid him.
abortions happen in
Push him
always
back
in
to next
the
year.
state of
They are the
Yeah,
radical
sorry, dude.
because nobody wants to see
I know it's getting cold and shitty. We got to do it
after 5
soon,
months and
man.
6 months and 7 months. And now it's going to.
But we still got the afternoon, the sunny afternoons. I think we're still pretty good for another
Look,
week.
just so you understand, it's pretty much 50-50. It's a 50-50 issue. Amazing. If you look at the charts, it's been 49-51. It's been like that for many years. It goes both ways. 51 both ways. Ready? I was able to do something which gave at least
Thanks so, thanks everybody.
people a voice. Now it's going to work out. Now the number of months will be determined, and you're going to have something where
it's right now.
everybody comes together.
Does it bother you, though, that women say their lives are being put at risk? Do you feel you bear any responsibility? Because as you say, you are responsible.
What's going to happen, this is an issue that's been going on for a long time, and it's a very polarizing issue. Because of what's been done, and because of the fact we brought it back to the states, we're going to have people come together on this issue. They're going to determine the time, because nobody wants to see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months. Nobody wants to see abortions where